welcome to Dark Skies Pickup Game. This is Series 2, Part 8. This is entitled Under God. The effects of a couple of last sessions are important for expanding upon what we are about to do. So I'm going to kind of go into a bit of a narrative tirade, as is my right as a storyteller. That's just something you all have to live with, and it is your fault.
Living with it for a long time.
Very good. So
a very long
and that's the
time.
stream, folks. Thanks for coming, all two of you, and that's it.
It's actually story time.
I'm gonna go weave. I'm just gonna cry a lot. Focusing up though. Just before we get into my blather, though, there are some folks in here who haven't played with other folks. So just real quick, I'm going to go through everybody. Just describe your character briefly and a little bit about yourself, so to speak. Again, just brevity is the soul of wit. We'll start with Ares. Go ahead, Steve.
Ares is your pretty atypical Militech exec, dress-wise, who wears a fine suit, gold embellishments, but you'll quickly realize the most Stanley about him is the big skull cage hoplite type helm that he wears. It seems to kind of be a mix of like historical plus, I guess, cyber tech kind of helmet. It completely obscures his facial features except for his eyes, which kind of glow a kind of a dull goldish, but they kind of will transition kind of based on how a situation is unfolding. Some people might call it as a tell, but it is what it is.
Next up, we'll go ahead and go with Sapakli. Go ahead and tell us about Alex and yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Sapakli. I'm playing Alex. Alex is, she looks like a middle to upper income Night City denizen. You notice that her appearance is not terribly outlandish. It's pretty muted for, not quite like a street punk, not quite as over the top as somebody, who's got big bucks to spend on their appearance. But she's well groomed. Looks, somewhat armored, and she has a fuck ass bob. And that's it.
Okay. Tom, go ahead and tell us, you and the character.
I don't know how I'm going to follow up that last line, but hi, I am Tom, the classic Tom. I am playing Thorn, who is the singer of Diamond Gonk, and looks like a pretty standard hair metal type rocker. Decently well known for such famous songs as Self-Storage Slaughterhouse, Panic on the Rooftop, and Heaven Needed a Wrench. Last one's a really great ballad if you guys are looking to cry. It's a good one.
Check out the pickup game or Patreon game, The Jacket, for more details on that one. And ignore this plate if it's on screen. Okay, cool. Next up is Kristen. Go ahead and yourself and also Bunny Doll.
Hey, I'm Bunny Doll, a med tech with background in pharmaceutics. It's kind of a family thing, and I just run my own little shop where I live because I am autistic and broke. One of my main things is that I'm kind of looking for a cure to cyberpsychosis, because my former lover was driven into it by torture and drugs and stuff. So I'm trying to figure shit out.
Good. And then next up, Kat, yourself, and also Cersei.
Hello. Am I unmuted? Okay. So this is Cersei, and she's a solo and a member of the Mox. Pretty tight with my roommates, and but I'm also not incredibly wild and outlandish either. I'm pretty stable, chill, like Finn the Towel, watch from the shadows kind of person. And I have this Bijin katana that I got off a Tiger Claw Badass to go along with all my pew pews. And yeah, I'm just here to as the protection for people that I care about, which, like we heard earlier, will be
We will
Amelia.
discuss Amelia here in a moment, and then last but not least, Elizabeth Rem. And I want to stress something real quick. This will be the last session you've played Series 2, darn it. Despite my hatred for you. You have the most freaking sessions, so listen, okay? There's
Wow.
no favorites. but-
I'm sorry that I've jumped into 2 last minute
Hey,
for you.
Totally chill. I'm just... Again,
You're gonna die,
My
but
bad.
it's chill. Don't worry.
SAS levels have to remain high.
My bad that I like playing. Whatever. Okay, so I'm Rem. Well, I'm Elizabeth, but I play Rem. She is an adrenaline junkie media. She records mainly records brain dances, XBDs, like how it feels if you've ever wanted to know how it feels to get your leg cut off. You can find that out.
Legless.
Without
Oh,
the
the
commitment.
name of the BD is Legless, for those of you who... Because, again, there's 2
Yes.
people in here with a discography. Yeah, that's pretty wild.
She is, because she's an adrenaline junkie, she's often and does the BDs, she often works out a lot to make sure her heart rate can be really high for the BDs without killing herself. So she's very physically fit and runs a pretty tight ship.
All right. And then...
She's hot.
Also true. And physically lean beefed pattied.
Yes.
The other individual that's present in this group, as alluded to with Cersei's descriptor, is a ganger named Amelia. Amelia is a member of the Mox. She is known as the liaison to fixers. She herself is not a fixer. That is not what she does. What she does is she basically coordinates with fixers who need people for jobs and gets them members of the Mox to do said job. As seen in the picture, she's seated beside Rogue, who is the queen of the afterlife. She will not die in our playthrough. She's kind of a big deal. And I mentioned previously that there was going to be me blathering on about narrative. That's a great place to start. However, putting a pin in that real quick, because there's one other thing I need to mention and kind of get rolls for that was alluded to by Sapakli. You stated that you were kind of in street gear. You were advised that this is going to be a fancy meetup, and you were told the name of the restaurant, and you are aware that this is Corpo Center, kind of a ritzy location. So I already know Steve's answer to the question. He's wearing exactly what he described. Boom. There's no questions, right? Suit, perfectly, bam, helmet, put out. That's what he's coming in. Is Alex dressing any differently or not?
Yeah, Alex definitely would have, I think, put on a little bit more of a formal or professional kind of outfit for sure.
Need 2 rolls from you. Personal
Okay.
grooming, wardrobe, and style. Tom, I already know the answer to this question. I can see it in the smile on your face. However, I saying that now, I'm obviously going to get the opposite result, as has been, preluded in other pre-game discussions. Do you wear your normal attire, or do you dress up for the affair?
I was actually checking to see if I had other attire, and I thought I did have some Urban Flash kind of stuff, but I will say I'm always a little glammed up anyways, but definitely not in a corpo style.
So you're just streeting out. Okay, so no big deal. You're not cleaning up for this shit. Fair. Bunny doll? Same question.
Wearing something that's not stained, maybe a nice jacket.
Okay, so same basic fit, just the best one. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cersei.
Probably like a black pantsuit.
Okay. Okay. Stylish. And yeah, you'd note Amelia also dresses up for the affair as well. Last but not least, Rem.
She's got this little tight little number that
Just for the
she
record, that
wears
was really
for
What?
what?
I rolled anyways, and the personal grooming's only a 10, but the wardrobe and style's a 23, so I look fucking phenomenal
Okay. Okay.
in my glam rock gear.
Grunge look. Rem's wearing a tight little number and heels that she's worn before.
Okay.
Not in game, but I've mentioned it in writing and
Yes.
kind of cleaned up.
Okay. So then,
Do I need to roll?
Cersei and Rem. Yeah, I need personal grooming and wardrobe and style.
Okay, and that is under social.
Uh huh.
Is it social?
Thorn looks great, but smells
She has
kind of
a
funky.
fucking wardrobe malfunction on the way.
He smells like a rocker.
Ooh.
Is that
Oh
what you're
shit! Yeah.
All right. Well, Cersei, the fit, it's kind of, it's there. It's nothing to wow anybody, but you are clean as a whistle. Opposite for Elizabeth. Oh no, same for Elizabeth. Just yeah, the wardrobe and style. I mean, it fits off. Like, I'm assuming that there's been some bulking since the last time you wore it, or it's just not.
Oh,
hanging
see,
right.
I was guessing that like she had like a fucking wardrobe malfunction, her strap broke or some shit.
Oh, that's also cool. Yeah, like the claws just actually raped like the shoulder. Why did I leave that on?
Your heel broke.
Yeah, heel broke.
So you just broke the other one to match.
Yeah,
Now you're wearing flats.
Yep.
something.
These are now flats. That's how shoes work. I know. I am really good at clothing-related matters,
Yeah.
just like math. Okay, so you all have an understanding of kind of how you look and what you're walking into. The background. So Amelia previously had put out a job just kind of nebulously to Hungry, Flasher, other fixers and the like, that she needed a character named Nitro recovered. Nitro is a Maelstrom ganger who was of some import to her for some reason. The reason was never alluded to and never discussed. And even though you are roommates with her, Cersei, you have no idea why Amelia needs this Nitro girl. But you know that she does. And so she does, you feel like it's kind of something you've been working towards. And all the other girls who are in the same apartment are likewise the same. So when Jem ran across her in the back of a Ario Speedwagon, Meatwagon, Ario Meatwagon, not Speedwagon, right. She immediately called somebody to help out. She couldn't just take the girl herself, because the person who was in the driver's seat of said wagon was a fixer who she was on a job for. So she called Ares, or she called Amelia, and Amelia called Ares, and Ares did her a solid by going out to meet with a fixer and negotiating the transactional, acquisition of a whole person for Amelia. Ares secured the meat wagon, drove it back to Lizzie's, gave Nitro over to Amelia. The ambulance, the EMT vehicle, we have no idea what happened to it to this day. That's it. That is one segment of what is important. The second segment of what is important is several individuals, some in this group, have uncovered or seen in the history dating as far back into 2077 the strange happenings at the behest of an individual, a mysterious individual who has been referred to as G, but has more recently been identified as having the handle God. The last encounter with them was kind of a diabolical place that had a lot of people who were basically subjugated by net manipulation to engage in activities that were probably not of their own accord or will. And it brought about a lot of emotions in the individuals that were present, but it definitely led to these individuals being kindly allowed to leave this mortal coil for the benefit of gaining more information about what was happening in that location. And I would argue that not much was learned post that point, other than the handle of the individual we're dealing with. They apparently are growing something. They're apparently trafficking in some unknown drug. They are very, very skilled at net manipulation and net running. And they are a problem. They are definitely a problem for Militech. We discussed off screen why that's the case. The Raff and Shiv, aka the Wraiths, were a matter that was dealt with during the summer, mainly by an Arasaka affiliated asset known as V, codenamed V. And this individual murdered a bunch of the Raff and Shiv on behalf of the Aldecados. If you want to know how that goes, play Cyberpunk 2077. It's dope. It's a lot of fun. You get to shoot them with a tank. That happened. And they're coming back now. They're starting to have a resurgence. And according to Militech operators on the field, their people are being taken in their camps or in their vehicles and are being absconded with by these Raff and Shiv. They are moving with techniques and practices that they should not be capable of, and with access and locational data that they definitely should not have access to. It's a very big problem. So every piece of information that could be acquired regarding G on behalf of Militech is great. So you Ares are aware that this individual named Alex was located on NCU investigating something, and your corporation has been detecting signals related to G coming from NCU. You don't have a direct connect with anybody in the mayor's office, but you have Amelia, and she owes you one. And this was the one. You had her contact who she could, because she said she could try to get you in contact with her. And that is this meeting. Amelia brings Cersei with her as protection. Ares, low on individuals he can hire out to serve as protection, due to other individuals going cyber psycho, being chased by Max Tack across the entirety of Night City's lower half, and then chased out of the city entirely. Hires someone from a compromised but thoroughly vetted Rolodex from Vernon Fisk. The individual in question is Thorn, and the reason why Thorn's name was on that dex is because Thorn was an Edgerunner contact for Letty, and Letty's Rolodex was compromised by Minerva, who was in bed with Fisk. So, you need a random gonk with a gun.
I need some new songs.
He needs some new. He needs inspiration. And then Alex, since you're coming to this meeting, also alone, but on behalf of Rem, who would have been the person who contacted you and kind of drawed you out, as she is wont to do. It seems like a going theme. Bringing people to sketchy diners and restaurants for shenanigans. You feel that you need somebody you can trust, someone on the scene, someone who can help, and so you contact your friend Bunny Doll, who is in the neighborhood, and has been helpful in these kind of gigs before. So, Ares probably arrived first, since before we started, he discussed that he was buying out the entirety of the restaurant we are going to. As you can see, the map in question. It is not a solution map. I know. It is an older map I had from a map maker named Frag Maps, which just kind of fit with what was being asked for. A smoke shop, or a smoky area with possibly good meats.
Frag maps is still cool, though.
Yeah.
We like them.
Ares is seated where he wants to be, and his gun is seated elsewhere. I'm assuming that because this meeting is kind of not exactly corporate, but will serve corporate, your stooges are not present. But if you want to have brought them along, you can. Muted. Oh, go ahead. You're not muted.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say, if possible, I would have my co-Severo, like, kind of just outside the restaurant, just blending in, doing, being covert as he is.
Recon.
And then I was gonna have Victor just be a dusky individual at the bar, as the femme fatale she is.
So, obviously, when you say you bought out the place, they're going to know that everyone there is your plant, except for probably the staff. Do you want her to replace the bartender or something? Like, be more incognito?
No, they can know she's with me. Just in the atmosphere.
Okay, perfect. So, Victor will be inside.
And I'm pretty sure Rem would recognize her immediately.
Yeah.
Whether or not she'd blather is entirely up to her, but yeah, it's easier to just go this way. Okay, cool.
See.
So, it looks like you all will basically be kind of arriving simultaneously. I don't have a token for Amelia because I'm lazy.
I was just about to be like, okay, where's Amelia gonna sit? Like, which chair is she?
Listen, it's hard out here.
It's hard on these streets.
I'm just going to use Gem's token as Amelia for the time being.
Okay.
But she'll probably sit close to Aries, but not too close. She has no expectations for you whatsoever, so you can sit wherever you want. You can sit with them, or you can sit at the bar, or you can sit. Your call. Okay. Over by the TV.
Yeah, at TV, kind of directly across from him.
Got it. And then the others?
Still.
I would want to walk in kind of sandwiched between Rem and Bunny Doll if they're okay with that.
Sure.
Okay.
Thorn just going straight to the bar.
Well, you're already there. You can't. You would have been in with Aries. Yep. Okay.
So
There
do we
would be
wanna seat them?
no hostess, and it doesn't look like many staff in the place at all.
Yeah, so I guess the three of us would just move in, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Set the scene for me, Steve. What are you doing before they get there?
So as people are coming in, Aries would be kind of just meandering the place, pacing a bit. But as you notice people arriving, he would kind of head back to the table, probably be standing, kind of one hand on the table, waiting for people to approach. And depending on who it is, his reaction might be a little different.
Okay. So you would see that it's Alex, Rem, and Bunny Doll. I don't know if you've worked with Bunny Doll. Yeah, you have. No, you didn't. You would recognize Rem though.
Yeah. So essentially would come over to Rem, say, "It's good to see you again," and then kind of notice her kind of disheveled, like, dress, and
Like the strap is like tied on her shoulder, and she's just like, when
would
she
you like
notices.
I can have a shawl brought in for you if you'd like.
Well, that's really nice of you, but seems like this is pretty private.
Very. Please take a
I'll be
seat or have a drink. We'll get started soon.
Drinks are comped, right?
Yes, everything's comp. They may, if you're hungry, feel free. Menu is quite good here. They should bring around a humidor at some point as well. I recommend the Nicaraguans. Quite flavorful.
Fancy. Well, thanks. and then she'll look to Alex and Bunny Doll. You know,
Ares,
Alex, this is Bunny Doll.
he'd nod at Bunny Doll, just like a simple greeting, but then he would actually extend a hand to Alex.
Yeah, and Alex looks. I mean, I rolled a 17 and a 17, John. So
Yeah,
I think
stellar.
looking professional, polished, serious, but fashion, right?
Mhm.
And she would confidently shake. Hi, good to meet you.
A pleasure. Nice to meet a member of this city's fine government, finally. I've been terror-bound for some weeks, and I haven't got a chance to meet anyone from the mayor's office, so this is quite a pleasure.
The work of governance is constant and often thankless. So glad to be able to finally tear myself away from the office and spend some time here. This is my dear friend Bunny Doll, and Alex will kind of make to be like, you need to shake my girl's hand too. Kind of energy.
Dear friend.
Yeah.
How did she do on her personal grooming and
She
wardrobe?
didn't even try. She's currently dressed like a street person.
Like, is she like in
but
like bloody
a
scrubs?
cleaner street person than normal.
Yeah, I'm wearing a nice jacket.
And shake the jacket's hand.
Go for a fist bump. It's like we'll go for a Howie Mandel fist bump.
Oh no.
Bunny Doll
I think-
offers their elbow.
Yeah, it's giving that. Yeah. Alex would accept that as being respectful.
Ares actually shakes and then he snaps his fingers. Victor runs over with alcohol, like, you know.
Wow.
That's the vibe I
Rude.
got. Sorry.
Shade.
Let's sit. You know, let's get some food going. It's that time, I assume.
Yeah, so you would note that there was a woman who kind of just walked out of the back and kind of stood nearby. She's holding a box in one hand and like a grouping of menus tucked under her other arm. She'll walk over to the table once everybody's seated, wherever they sit, and it looks like this is the area that's going. Amelia would be kind of seated near Ares. Alex, do you want to sit at the lounger here? Or
Well, where's like the dinner area?
that's
Or
it.
where would we be?
Yeah, so it's like a hookah bar, basically.
Here? Oh, okay. I mean, I really want to be near my escorts for sure. I do not want to. I guess.
I could
Oh,
sit
great.
like
Thorn's there.
Well, real quick, Bunny Doll, Rem, Alex, Cersei, go ahead and roll a d10, and let me know if you get a 7 or less. Aries, I didn't
I
even
got a
have you roll
10.
because you're from space.
I got a lovely 3.
Cersei, you definitely know. Bunny Doll, you definitely know.
I should know.
I mean, for some reason you don't catch on. Like, you know who he is. It just, that can't be him, right? Like, kind of thing.
Okay. There's no fucking way
There's no
that's
fucking
him.
way
Like,
that's him.
okay. That's fair, because I was like, I literally did a brain dance for one of his concerts.
Exactly. Alex, you need to roll d10 as well, sorry.
Oh, me. 9.
No idea. Well, that makes sense.
Fucking
That's
disrespectful.
totally fair. So Cersei and Bunny Doll, the gentleman who was sitting at the bar with his hair just absolutely looking like it's windswept and amazing, gets up and walks with a confident, heavy-booted stride and sits at the table near the loungers you guys are at. And sits. He is Thorn from Diamond Gunk. And when I say he is Thorn from Diamond Gunk, I mean to say, his discography plays on the radios. He plays in a lot of small venues. He has a lot of fans. You know who he is. Now I have to ask you, do you consider yourself a fan of Diamond Gonk? It's chrome metal. It's fucking great. It's like a lot of street level shit. He sings about his experiences. So, fan or not?
I'm not like a blubbering kind of fan. I definitely feel like I've listened to his music, especially with roommates and things like that would probably like him. So like, I know him. He's cool. I'm not like, oh my god, fangirling over him. No.
Okay. And Bunny Doll?
Their music is something that I listen to on repeat as I'm like hyper focusing.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So yeah, Diamond Gonk is a big deal. He's got a rank 7 in Charismatic Impact. He is the highest ranked person at the table. But yeah, he is kind of a big deal. And he's here. Nobody knows why except for Aries and him. No fucking clue. But yeah, he walks over, he sits down, he heard food was about to get ordered. The lady starts passing out the menu.
Whole ass bottle.
Yeah, you still have the... So, he comes over, or she comes over, she sets down the menus, and she says, I'm certain that some of you, this is your first time at Indigo Haze. So, just so you know, the menu comes in 2 parts, and she pulls out a separate section and says, the first section has humidors, which have kindly been provided. Looks like we have a smattering of different cigars on offer based on your benefactor's order here. But there are also some other options when it comes to smokables. We can bring out at 1 hookah per table, and if there are any other matters that you would like to partake, we definitely roll our own, and there are other materials that can be taken in and imbibe. Vapes, volcanoes, etc. That's the first menu. If you're not interested in those materials, that's absolutely fine. We do serve some easy to consume foods, but most of our materials are going to be a bit pricey, and that'll be up to your benefactor as to whether or not they're interested in giving you the full delights or just a passe kind of meeting. She'll kind of nod her head to Aries, kind of looking at the menus, and she kind of looks to Thorn's table, come over and put one there. She'll see Cersei across the room and immediately kind of walk over. And the thing that Aries, you're picking up on is she's very nervous, and she kind of like seems to be kind of talking over herself. It sounds like she's saying things that sound kind of weird, and like she doesn't know how to operate with this. But she keeps on making glances over at the bar, and I haven't put the bartender's token over there, but the bartender is definitely like watching her like a hawk.
It's her first day.
It's not her first day. It's just the first time she's had an exec clear the room. Yeah, she'll leave with the menus. There are real food options, which means that they actually serve beef. Like a cow was killed to make the food that will be served to you. And when you look at the prices, Bunny Doll, you aren't certain you have anything in your shop that's sold for as much. Like you run a business, and these people are absolutely selling a cut of 6-ounce steak for luxury prices. We're talking like 1,500, almost near 5,000 eddies for the beef. There are definitely other offerings and stuff that's kind of available. It seems like they are kind of all over the place when it comes to kind of stylings. There's, they have very much kind of like a steakhouse kind of like couple of options, but then there are some kind of like Eastern and Middle Eastern kind of food offerings. There's just like a very kind of rife plethora of options available here. Could
we do a possible flashback?
Yeah.
Like, I think knowing that this would be kind of like a ritzy spot, I wonder if Alex, Rem, and Bunny Doll could have stopped at Taqueria Kabuki to have like a snack before showing up, so they're not really hungry, and they would be able to.
After this bougie shit.
Yeah, like we don't really need to spend on like a bite of beef for like a mortgage payment,
A rent payment.
a rent payment, right? And we can
Mortgage.
instead, hit the hookah or whatever.
For sure.
Bunny Doll, Rem, what do you think? Are you guys okay with that?
I just fucking loved my ramen tacos.
Okay.
It's a good joint. So
Yeah.
perfectly fine then. So when they kind of take to the ordering, you can order. I'm assuming you're getting a hookah for your table then, Alex, based on what you said.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Do you want that to be just tobacco, or do you want it to be mixed with like hashish?
Alex does not want to get high.
Okay.
I don't know how Bunny Doll. Are you looking to get high right now?
Nope.
That's in character. Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's just do tobacco.
Okay. And they have all different types of flavors. Feel free to make up whatever you want. Yeah, for Thorn, you have your own table. So when ordering,
Yeah. Thorn is gonna hold up the bottle and be like, whatever to smoke goes with this Chateau Dellin. I think I've had it before. I just don't remember. Like, it was one of those nights. So whatever goes well with that. And Rem, oh, you're here.
Wait, there's no fucking way that. Are you actually Thorn?
Do you think anybody else looks like this?
Well, I figured that there was no actual way that you would be here. Like, you with Eric?
Writer's block is a real bitch. I mean, hopefully this time, like, the brain dance doesn't involve somebody getting trampled like the last time we worked together. I mean, I know that's more your vibe, but...
I can't really control anything, so...
I mean, I guess I don't know what we're doing here yet, so that may not be off... Anyways, whatever smoke goes really well with this Chateau Dellin.
she'll nod, and then for your main course,
same deal. Whatever you recommend.
Yeah, she'll come out with something.
I'm not gonna remember it.
I'll probably throw it up out back. And then she'll come over to Cersei's table after you've had some time to look at the menu.
Yeah. I don't want to get high either. I am here for protection, so I want my senses to not be impaired. And then, like, I'd probably get something, maybe just nothing heavy. I don't know, like some sort of just easy to munch on kind of food.
She'll suggest some offerings, basically some light fare, and she'll set you up with something kind of light that mixes well with that. Okay,
and
so
then, like, a drink.
Okay, and once you're kind of all ordered in, Aries, the room's pretty quiet. The only kind of presence beside you in the room is the bartender. And yeah, table's yours.
Right, so once we've all got bevies in hand, or we're sparked up, or what have you, and it's the conversation. So, Miss Alex, what can you tell me about our mutual, how should I put this, antagonistic force, G, as he's calling himself?
Well, it was a nightmare. We ended up underneath the city, near the university. And G was a clever manipulator with access to destructive technology. I would say that he backed me into a corner. He communicated via proxy. not paid or consenting proxy. Before we left, nearly everyone in that dungeon, for lack of a better word, was dead. Most of them killed by G's hand. There is some data that was recovered as a result. There's a link between our subnets and the old net. And there's a couple of names that are important here. I know that Militech. Well, wait. Above table, Militech and my party are like good, right? Like are on the same page or no?
Militech is kind of affiliated with the NUSA. So NUSA political shenanigans up again. In 2070, the NUSA, New United States of America, attacked Night City to reclaim it. The goal of the NUSA is to reunite all of the free cities, free states, back into the fold and make the United States great again. President Myers is a piece of shit. So, that war went bad for the NUSA because the city council, led by Holt at the time, called in Arasaka and brought them back stateside so that they would basically push the NUSA back. Now, why is Militech a problem there? I mentioned President Myers' dick. She used to be the CEO for Militech. The last president of the NUSA also used to be a CEO for Militech. Do you get where I'm going with that?
Okay, I got you.
Militech owns the national government for the NUSA. And it's basically just an offset of it, as is the case too with the Lazarus group, which is.
So I want to get into some kind of like a fine distinction here that is like too fine for normal people, but we're fucking freaks. So here we are. I think the Federalists are like a little bit more pro NUSA than the Devolutionists, and Paralis and Alex are Federalists.
Sure.
Okay. So I want to say that, like, you know, in public, Alex would not be like, NUSA, Militech, let's go. But our kind of like internal machinations are to be like a little bit pro Militech. Okay. So, and I think Ares would know that. So I think, so I would say, you know, I'm only sharing this with you, Ares, because, you know, our end games are aligned. Our end game, of course, she looks around at the rabble, her friends, the other people in this space. Our goal here always is the empowerment. The empowerment and the liberation of the people of our city. And so, there are a couple of names that I need to share. Bryce Mosley, Bart Jarvis. These Bryce Mosley and Bart Jarvis, there was some coordination going on to move against the Voodoo Boys, which are somehow involved in this, against all reason. And that this is also related to a previous kidnapping of and Alex will look to Thorn. Actually, now it's clicking in this moment because Alex doesn't give a shit about, you know, music or, you know, rocker boys, but she gives a shit about Angel Holt.
Lame.
This is related.
Boring.
This is related to also the kidnapping and murder of Angel Holt. I don't know if that means anything to you.
Well, that experience sounds dreadful. Glad you were able to make it out of that situation, and you're correct. Our endgame goals are aligned, and I think that's to be rid of this G Menace and his or their followers. As everyone knows, Militech takes care of its assets, and there is no greater asset than our employees who are being taken, and that cannot stand. So yes, thank you for being so forthcoming. This information is very valuable. I had been under the impression that G's powers have been consolidated in the wastelands, but this event were saying happened in Night City. That is concerning.
There's Militech employees being taken by G.
Yes, our frontline staff, our drivers, our technicians, delivery, people just trying to make an honest living. People who, they pay their taxes and they put in a hard day's work, and we need to protect them.
Agreed. Now, more than ever, we have to protect our constituents. And then, in the captions, it says constituents, and then underneath, in brackets, it says voters.
Makes sense.
Specific group of voters. In even smaller
good
brackets.
ones.
Amelia will pipe in, because she's also seated with you two, and she'll say, which leads me to my ask, and why I felt like this was beneficial to bring you two together. I had you get Nitro for me, because she is a member of the Maelstrom gang. But more so than that, she is someone of interest to a number of the religious sects in that group. One of those groups, Cult of the Spider, is very much in league with G. I know this because I have seen them doing work for him. It goes a bit deeper than you know. G is also a drug trafficker. They're moving glitter from inside the city out, and they're moving other hard drugs into the city. A lot of their operations have been running through Dustin, which was highly overlooked. Corporations purchased a lot of property there and gave up on it because of the Raffin Shiv. I also know that G is in league with the Scavs. Big name that's been running around is Alpha, some Scav leader who I don't know who he is, but he apparently is bringing a lot of the small Scav cells together, and they're functioning more like an actual gang rather than just disparate groups that are self-interested. This is so problematic that the Mox and the Tiger Claws for a time were working together in securing a property. And if you know anything about the streets, which, again, Mr. Aries, I'm pretty sure you don't, but maybe you do, Alex. But Tiger Claws and Mox, they go together like two things that don't really go together. So, it's a big deal. Most people will agree, fuck Scavs. They're the worst. But
yeah, then they're everywhere. Even on Mars, we called them rusters because they spent so much time outside the biodomes that their skin and clothing just got caked with the dust. We had to deal with this is a bit of nostalgia but the worst kind. Gang of started. They wanted to. They were tired of working under Militech. They were all low-level employees. Wanted to break out on their own, so they started stealing under this boss, who I fondly named Apollonius, for he flew too close to the sun, and he was no more. But that's neither here nor there. But to make a long story short, I understand the threat of when these scavs or rusters, when they get organized, and they're not a ragtag group. This is something that needs to be cut out, stem and stern.
Well, from what I understand, there was a big scuffle in Dustin a couple days ago. Big name fixer named Hungry has been kind of working with the faraway Nomad pack out there, trying to help. Scav situation's real bad, and it seems to be centered in that location. It seems to be centered at Dustin. And I know you can't do anything about it, because, again, you're city government. You don't really have the NCPD on leash or anything. They kind of do their own thing. They're now a private corporation, basically. And I know you can't do anything about it, because Dustin falls inside city jurisdiction. Militech can't really go in there unless somebody contracts you. And then she kind of looks at Alex, kind of like she tossed a lead, and then kind of looks at Ares like she tossed a lead, and then she kind of just shrugs back, grabs the hookah hose, and just kind of hits it. Pause for a second while you think about that, though. Bunny Doll, I don't know if your token's placed there unintentionally or if it was just like a kind of happen chance, but are you sitting near or around Thorn?
Yeah, I'm in that general area. I'm a little closer to Alex though, because I'm currently reaching into their purse for a takoyaki bomb.
So then I'll say that you're probably seated like here. Is that fair?
Yep.
Okay.
So would I be like here?
That works. If that's where you want to be. I was going to ask you next, but Bunny Doll, are you kind of like paying attention to the conversation that they're having? Again, it sounds like pretty high level shit. Or are you kind of like trying to get the drunken rocker's attention?
Like half paying attention, but mostly my attention is on takoyaki.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to get a package out, and like you know.
Let me just like bump in. Alex will unsnap her purse and like hand like a full boat of like 8 fresh takoyaki right over.
Okay.
And that's it.
Yes.
If that's the case, then the funny thing that could have happened, I was going to say have a stealth roll, and then the crinkling of the bag, kind of like drawing attention to yourself. But that's definitely attention getting. You kind of reach in, grab it, hand it over graciously, and then Thorn, make a local expert Night City roll.
Which of the tabs is that under again?
Education, sorry. It's so many skills.
I do not have anything under local expert.
You
on
should
this
have local expert Night City 4. I don't know why people... Oh, it was broken on the other side. Let's see if it's still broken.
I got a 6 with whatever you want to add to it.
So we're adding 4, and then we're adding your int. What's your intelligence?
It is 4? 4.
So we're talking 14. Okay, so you recognize Takiera Kabuki. Like it's again a place you've probably hit. It's relatively dive-ish. It's not like super up class. It's kind of just like a hole in the wall kind of mom and pop shop. And they don't mind you if you're like loud and boisterous and drunk, unless you start pulling out guns, and that's not your vibe. So you've definitely been there before.
I might pull out a guitar that is a gun, but
right.
Not use it as a gun.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff. But if the lady comes back around, you may want to hide that. I don't think most of these places like when you bring your own stuff in. Oh,
I
good.
put a takoyaki in my mouth and I shove the package under my jacket.
It's got a nice warmth to it. They have the air conditioner kind of going hard in here, but yeah. All right. So Cersei, you're kind of seated and kind of watching the TV, not really paying attention to that side of the room, other than visually. Obviously maintaining your job, but like passively, you're kind of paying attention to the television, and it's playing N54 News. You would see that it kind of brings up a kind of noted story regarding gang activity in Santo Domingo, specifically Arroyo, and they're mentioning how the Valentinos and 6th Street have called a truce, and that the body count lottery numbers for the past couple of days have been going down. So, again, peace in Arroyo. It's kind of cool. Valentinos and 6th Street have been kind of going hard at each other ever since the death of Padre. People who are kind of street affiliated would know Padre died because he was doing work with the 6th Street to kill a guy whose girlfriend was accosted violently by 6th Street. So like a lot of like playing an underhanded shit by that fixer and his death, and it's been like months and months of just non-stop gang war in Arroyo. But seems cool now, according to the news. And then at about that point, the waitress will be kind of coming out. Rem, you obviously kind of moved yourself to situate. You're paying attention to the conversation. Are you recording?
Probably.
Okay, so Aries,
Unless told no.
you've worked with Rem before, so you would know that prior. Would you have said no prior to the conversation, or would you have okayed it?
It's fine. I'm working essentially, quote unquote, working alongside like a local government official. So anything that implicates me kind of implicates the mayor's office. So it's
Yeah.
I think we're all going to be kind of watching our tongues.
Effectively,
But
two.
it's fine.
Rem will have two swords pointed at her instead of just the Militech one, which can seem a bit.
Or she has potentially like one of those things where like if someone says something bad, the other person can pay her really good
That's fair.
money.
True.
Money.
And then you both just get up and just shoot her, Pulp Fiction style. Problem solved. Problem solved.
Handshake, handshake.
At about that time, then the waitress would come out with a very large tray and like the little situation where you set it down on like a little stool thing and start passing out. Obviously, the smoked stuff has already been put out, but food would be put on offer. And I would like to ask Steve what exactly you ordered. I need to know like crisp, like George R. R. Martin style details of the food you got.
I got a aged 8-ounce porterhouse with a nice cracked pepper crust. Of course, with steak Diane, so it's got Diane sauce, finger-linked potatoes with rosemary, asparagus sautéed in balsamic vinegar, horseradish, of course, and any other little accoutrements. I probably also ordered a tableside Caesar at some point. Yeah, and I kind of everyone else I think ordered more fingery stuff. And if anyone's kind of staring at this big thing, just be like, "You guys try living on protein cubes for 6 months, and you'll come to appreciate a good steak."
It looks good.
The irony of like the working people in this group have eaten nothing but like fucking sawdust burritos for the last 25 years. That's funny.
Right.
Some of us were fueled on alcohol and ethanol like the spaceship. It's fine.
Hell yeah.
There's no cows on Mars.
Yes.
Not really cows here either.
Was that in
Some of
character?
us make drugs
Yeah.
so we have energy.
Perfection. Everybody else gets kind of light servings of whatever. Nothing.
Alex will have a glass of champagne.
Of course. And then anybody else, anything that you want to kind of make sure you kind of have narratively, just for fluff?
I said
Some
I'm just
sort of,
sipping
like,
on like a little rum
drink.
drink. Yeah,
Nice.
like
Cocktail.
sipping, not chugging. Yeah, just so I don't look super out of place. Only
Like a
little out of
nice
place.
like vodka soda for Ram,
Don't worry.
probably.
I'm setting the bar on chugging.
So
doing the Lord's work.
great point. Thorn, go ahead and roll me a resist drugs and torture roll. The torture is your life. The resist drugs. That's under. Yeah, you got it. So you're doing okay. But yeah, you're definitely a bit faded. I would say that due to that, you'll have a +1 to all social skills, but you'll have a -1 to all other skills. So you are.
I got luck. Whatever.
Yeah, you're very person. Hell yeah, the rocker boy motto. I got luck for days. Perfect. So, food is offered. Everybody kind of goes quiet. Excuse me, hiccups all of a sudden. Everybody kind of goes quiet as you kind of eat food, but obviously some of you didn't order as much as others. Conversation can continue.
One of the other details that's really important, we and Rem, you were there.
Yeah.
With us. They were using, it seemed like, human bodies to make compost or something. Do you recall?
I believe that's what it was. That's what it looked like whenever I was like editing everything too.
It was.
It's really
Perfect.
disturbing. And then that guy in the bed.
The guy in the bed. Yes. I
The
think
Netrunner, I think he was.
we found a netrunner. It seemed like none of us here, I think, are netrunners, but we know that for a John, can you remind me what it's called when they is it free dive? No.
When they deep
Dive?
dive, just dive in.
Deep
yeah.
dive.
Yeah.
When a netrunner dives, they have to get dunked in ice water to survive it. Well, this really, I just.
It was like they were just like letting him overheat the whole time, and like his
Yes.
limbs were burned off. It was disgusting. Oh, it smelled so bad.
This is perfect dinner time talk, but
That's why we ate beforehand.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have a question. This is actually a very serious question. Do you take the helmet off to eat, or do you leave it on?
no, I just cut my food small and shove it through the gap.
The knife, just the knife, or the fork
That-
sideways.
is diabolical. I love that.
That's awesome.
Disappears
Wipe
through a
that. The little slit, you just. It's so great. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Calling it a slit just makes it.
Shoving the meat in the slit. What are you gonna do? What do you shove the meat in the slit, Shijo?
Oh, sorry,
Well,
I have to go.
Yeah.
Friday night.
I gotta go wash my hair again.
It will never wash away.
I gotta go bleach my ears.
Bleach my whole ear hole. That makes sense.
Yes.
Maybe my brain. I don't know.
Sorry. I apologize for the brief intermission.
Crude.
For being
Rude.
a freak.
Freak,
Sorry, I'll be
yeah.
right back.
Okay.
Belong to a different channel, John.
See, you made Steve go away, John.
See, so I can't
You made him run away.
He made fun of my hair. No, I'm pretty sure he just has family religion matters.
I know. Just joking.
So, in the meantime, or right now, back to conversation. Sorry for the intermission of joke.
So, I think we're all in agreement that this character and this conglomerate needs to be taken care of. So, Miss Alex, what I need from you is a contract that will allow Militech security personnel to act within the confines of Night City at a higher level than we are currently able to. I should be able to secure security teams to aid in the expunging of this problem, but we are, of course, limited by the law, and we act within it, for without it, there would be chaos. So,
The safety of our constituents comes first, before anything else. I know that the relationship between the people of Night City and Militech hasn't always been clean. Or
That's one way to put it.
for the first time, like, ever in their, like, brief relationship, Alex shoots Rem a look. But we've got bigger fish to fry. So, your people, let them drop the contract. I will do my damnedest to make sure it ends up on Paralysis' desk.
In the midst of that, Aries, you hear a bit of static on Hollow. You don't know what it is, and you kind of... It's just a very kind of weird moment. And you see Victor kind of look over at you and kind of, like, make a gesture. Like a, I don't know.
I'll kind of just text Severo, like, through my helmet, be like, sit rep, question mark?
Text is sent.
I'll just
It
wait to
sits on
see if
red.
there's anything going on.
It's
I have a question.
Unread. It has not been read.
I have a question. When we, when those of us without helms send messages, our eyes would, like, turn green or whatever.
Oh, his eyes turn red for sure.
Okay, so there's, like, an eye flick when he's, like, sending a message.
It would probably be blue, actually, when he goes to phone call.
Or blue? Okay. Alex will look inquisitively. She won't call him out and, embarrass him, but will be like, yes,
Share with class.
yes, honey.
Nothing to worry about, just a little inter-office. My associate will take care of it, and I'll kind of, like, look over at
As
Victra.
he puts that forward and he looks over at Victor, everyone hears a kind of, like, shaking of the door. And you would have noted that the waitress/hostess locked the door after everybody was, like, entered in. And she would have asked Aries, is this everybody in your party? So the door is locked, but when you kind of hear it, it sounds like someone's trying to force the door open. And if you kind of look over your shoulders, those of you who are in the box, you can't see. Thorn, Bunny Doll, your angle is perfect. You can see through, like, the mesh area. Cersei, because of your angle, you can see that if someone were to enter the door, you'd be able to see them. But since they're, like, outside and at the door, you're not able to see them. But Thorn...
But I would like to jump up at the noise.
Oh yeah, you hop up, and so does Victra. Thorn and Bunny Doll, you would see at the door what appears to be a man in a very pristine business suit. He appears to be of Asian descent. Looks like he has a decent amount of, like, very nice cyberware on his neck. And he definitely looks like he has kind of, like, red underpinnings on his suit.
Not this fucking guy.
Thorn will stand up and shift the conspicuous guitar on his back around. You expecting anybody else?
No. On guard.
Shake, 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 shake again.
Alex draws her pistol.
Okay. The
Private party, fuck off!
he'll kind of, like, look at you, and, like, through the glass he'll say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were closed. I'm so sorry. Apologies." And you'll see him kind of, like, raise his hands, and then he kind of, like, touches his head, and you kind of get a sensation that something's going on with his eyes. Very curious. Do you have any self ice installed, Thorn?
Oh no.
I don't think you do.
Always get the self ice.
So yeah, you don't notice it, but you definitely like walk away from the conversation as he kind of like raises his hand, kind of touches his head like this, and then walks away. Like you get this vibe that the guy was kind of weird.
Fucking weirdos.
When he turns around, Bunny Doll and Cersei, his eyes, and that'd be Thorn's eyes, are glowing bright red. Let me double check something actually. I don't know if Thorn has cyber eyes. I think he does. I know he has.
I do.
Yeah.
Everything okay?
I don't know, some fucking weirdo.
Eyes are glowing bright red. Victor will kind of walk over to Thorn, kind of place her hand on your shoulder, and look at you. What happened?
He touched his face. It was weird. Nah.
Why are you broadcasting?
What?
She'll kind of like quickly kind of look around, and then she'll kind of like reach up to your neck and slide something into your neuro port. Do you try to resist her or no?
Yeah, sure, why not? I'd let it happen.
Okay. You feel a shard enter into the slot, and you immediately are knocked unconscious.
Nothing new.
She's standing there, and you see her as like Thorn hits the ground. She kind of like immediately starts saying something, which sounds like it's kind of code speak. She's trying to talk to Severo, and then she'll move to the door. And once she gets there, and starts looking out.
Rem will step out of the box, kind of
Okay.
shuffle past Alex.
Okay. Just move to where you want to end up.
She'll go there next to Cersei.
And I kind of want to like move up here so I can like grab hold of him and drag him backwards since he's unconscious on the floor. Can I do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You kind of grab him. Are you moving him aside?
Yeah, like I want him out of the way of the window because
Okay.
this is not
Yeah. And
not a
as you kind of
tactical.
grab a
Yeah.
hold of him and start pulling. This is when Victor's kind of moving over to the door, kind of edging along the side of it and looking out the window. Everybody else in the room, you're good where you're positioned?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see Victor dive out of the way, and you hear a cacophony of just bullet fire just smash through the window and the wall, and it's just an absolute blaze of just buffet of fire.
You're welcome, Thorn.
All right. So
Get a free ticket. It's all good.
I'm going to pause the situation, and I'm going to move in with the first burst of my breach. You are caught unawares, so it basically just going to go down the way I am going to explain it. Obviously, if you have Reflex 8, you could try to dodge bullets and explosions and the like, but otherwise it's just going to go down.
Well, I have Reflex 8. Can I dodge some shit?
When it starts happening, for sure.
Okay.
So 3 operators are going to burst in through the broken out wall and start firing shotguns. It looks like their primary target is the person closest to the door, and that'll be Victra. Thorn, in the burst of explosions and the like, whatever she did to you goes away, so you're just kind of laying on the ground. There is a slight tinge of pain in your neck. You already have the -1s for being drunk to your non-social skills, so that's still in effect. And then Cersei, you're kind of like letting Thorn go as you realize he's kind of coming active. In response to these like Arasaka soldiers bursting through the windows, are you kind of reaching for anything or like pulling out any weaponry or no?
I am, and I also want to like try to make sure because like my primary objective is to protect Amelia, so I want to make sure that I'm more like in between her and the problem.
like moving closer to her, towards her.
Got it. Bunny doll, you're there. The table is absolutely diveable. Like you can flip it, get underneath it, or whatever. How would you like to play it?
Flipping it.
Okay. And then you in the booth, are you getting up and kind of trying to get into position, or are you kind of like getting inside of the booth and kind of going for ground? Amelia is absolutely sliding underneath the table.
Smart.
Alex Aries?
Sorry. Just asking like what we're doing on the first round, like during the surprise.
What you're doing in response to the explosion. All of the guys that are entering are shooting shotguns at Victra.
I pull out my pistoli. Do I have everyone's here's like number essentially, or is there
You
something
didn't
like
set
that?
up a holo call initially, so since you didn't do that, you won't be able to do tethered conversation. If you're doing a text message, that's fine, but it'll only be with people you have contact info with, which will be Rem,
So I'll just
Thorn.
say it out loud. I'll just yell it out.
Yeah.
I'll just say, a bone. Say Eddie's. If someone could save her life.
Yeah, so you would watch Thorn as you're kind of laying there, and Cersei as you're kind of pulling away, and Rem as you're kind of watching and recording. Them just blast her down with shotgun fire, but there's no blood. It's just this absolute smattering of like boom, 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 and you can actually see the bullets after a fashion kind of bouncing around on the ground. You watch as she is laid out in like very just summary fashion, shot down, and then after everyone starts like their reaction movements, you hear a loud voice come from them. Hands up, no weapons. And if you wish this to continue into a combat, we can. Or you can take orders from the people with the shotguns. I just
What if
need
our
to
hands
know
are
what your play is as I put up an initiative tracker just in case.
Rem will kind of like snottily like put her hands up because her hands are her weapons. So she's like, I mean,
Rem was there when what's her face
Cryptid?
got abducted, right?
Yeah.
Crypto got abducted and saw the last time we were in a similar situation. Ares was very like, okay, whatever, man. Like we don't want to fight. She
yeah,
probably noticed that this time, like his eyes weren't red before; they're red. He is not like putting down his like them laying her out was like, nah.
yeah.
Like,
She'll
not my
like kind of
employee.
like glance
Not
over at
today.
Ares, but like be kind of like, I can fight without a gun.
Fair.
You've seen her fight without a gun.
Cersei, you've been given such orders before by the NCPD, undoubtedly, but they are kind of bearing down into the group, and because of your positioning, you can see there are at least 3 more individuals behind them and what appears to be an airborne drone. They are coming in hot.
I think I would glance over to Amelia because, like, I'm cool with fighting people. I love that shit. But I kind of just glance over to her, like seeing if she has a directive.
Oh, she's not there. She's under the table.
Well, yeah, I didn't know if I could see her from
Yeah,
where I
better
was
part of
standing.
Valor. She is definitely not in
Okay.
She is Bennett, and she is not in it. Okay, that is just the way that she's rolling in this fight. She does not
smart though.
want any part of this.
Okay, well, so I can already tell that we've got 2 people ready for a fight. I guess I kind of glance around at the other members just to see if like we're gonna have a full party fighting these people. So kind of look over.
Rem will wink at her like
Oh yeah, I got you. I know you.
I got you.
So
I know you're good.
I'm gonna simplify this process.
Hands are in the air,
We're
but
getting a lot of glancing, and it's definitely going to be like a 3-second situation. And I understand your position, that you're new, so I'm okay with you like bouncing, and that's okay. But now for the others, since I've got you kind of locked in, if it's going hot, I'm going hot. If not, I'm not. Everyone else has to actually make a determination right off. Aries says gun up, ready to go. Rem is playing ball, but is ready to go as well. Thorn.
Yep.
Already have the shotgun in your hand. They've got shotguns too. Do you want to do like a power duet, or like do you want to like do something different?
I would imagine that Thord is still trying to figure out exactly what's going on, so I'm not putting the weapon down, but I'm not
Okay.
immediately
So,
blasting.
Not blasting. Got it. Bunny doll, you were going under the table, right?
Yep.
Okay. Hidden. And then Alex.
I've got my pistol like this, and I've got my back to the barrier, and
Okay.
that's it.
So since people do have guns, we're going to go ahead and roll initiative for everybody. And I am going to place other tokens on the board.
It's a big ass drone.
Fun tokens that we. Oh no!
Is that a drone or is that a vehicle?
That is a drone.
Cool.
Why is it so thick?
What's thick?
That's just how it is sometimes.
She got that drone BBL.
All right. Everybody on the board? Looks like it.
Yeah. Ooh,
Okay.
I'm almost last again.
So, Cersei,
I am last.
it definitely looks like they are moving in to clear. So you're kind of combat aware. Speaking of which, you're solo. So combat awareness is important. If you go to your roll ability, it should be kind of about halfway mid. You can change it to whatever you want it to be. Since these guys have armor up, I would suggest spot weakness and put full points in it. If a fight does break out, you'll be able to penetrate through armor better if you go that route.
Oh, good. I already had that on there.
Perfection. You are first on the docket. It definitely looks like this is a breach and clear situation. They will non-lethally break down anybody who resists them. But what you can tell is that the two heavies that came up behind are wielding very heavy, high-powered weaponry. And it's probably the case that if this does go south, the shotgunners will switch to sidearms, and the heavies will go to eliminate, like obliterate everybody. So you're very aware that this is a tense situation, and they are definitely all in flak armor, which means they have a 15 stopping power, meaning normal handguns and stuff are just going to bounce off of them.
Okay. Sorry, I was
Oh,
trying
sorry.
to
Also,
look at this.
combat music.
Hell yeah.
So the shotgunners had like rubber bullets.
Yeah.
Oh, I got excited. I thought you just splatted my girl on the ground.
No. We're trying to do this peacefully.
That's
Well-
why there was no blood. Okay.
Yeah, all right, okay. But she like got an X on her, and I'm like, wait,
Oh,
I'm
no.
confused.
Yeah.
She like
If
Oh, yeah,
this,
no, that X, man. X gets
Yeah,
me.
that X got all everybody upset.
if this goes like maybe a minute, you're gonna start seeing her like start to puff up because she's bruised to shit. But yeah, like
Right, all
no.
the bleeding is on the inside.
Yeah, she's alive.
Yeah.
She's alive.
For now.
That's what
She
that's
doesn't want
supposed
to
to
be
be.
anymore.
Okay, so, this grenade launcher underbarrel that I have, can I put that on this Arasaka?
Yeah,
H-
so you can definitely fire the you can fire the grenade launcher into the area. So
Okay.
all you'll need to do is click the grenade launcher attack.
Okay. Oh, hey, guess what? Syntax error. I'm still broken.
I swear to God, I fixed you. What the fuck?
You know, like, did I? Hang on. a
There
second.
is no fixing her, I
Okay.
guess, is what you're
No.
saying. Now, wow. Wow.
I
Damn,
cannot be
John.
Yeah, for me as
perpetually
well.
broken. Yeah. And wasn't just me last time either. Like, you couldn't even do it.
Yeah, I don't understand how that happened again. I rebuilt your character from scratch on a new sheet. It just does not like you.
That's fair. I had that
That's
effect
also
on things.
hurtful.
Go
I
to,
had that effect on things.
go to skills. It should be ranged weapon, and you're looking for heavy weapons, and you're gonna go ahead and click that attack or click that skill.
Right. Heavy weapons.
Okay. So a 13 is the DV that you've set, okay? And you're firing a grenade launcher into their midst. You want it to detonate so it catches them all, correct?
Yes.
But you also want to do it so it's outside, so it doesn't cause structural damage to your cover.
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to shoot it like kind of towards the middle of them, like further towards the door.
Yep.
Yeah.
So as you kind of lift up the assault rifle, the grenade launcher fires, you would see the headies kind of drop down and brace themselves. This lady immediately zips, like she's faster than like is visually possible, leaps over the counter and like disappears behind the hostess desk. And then these three, seeing it coming, move forward with the same kind of haste as they dodge the grenade launcher around. The two heavies, you just watch it kind of explode. I need you to roll 6d6. Okay. And it looks like they kind of like burn a little bit for a second, and there's kind of like some impact damage, but they kind of just like, after they brace, they kind of like dust themselves off as they kind of like take the explosion straight on. The drone in the back had two massive shield like barriers up the second the grenade hit, and it kind of made it bounce back a little bit, but then you hear a as it switches back into gunner mode. You can still move if you'd like.
I would like to move. Hold on. Okay, let's see. I guess I'm gonna at least get a little more this way and behind cover.
Okay.
Since I just kicked hornet's nest.
From your perch inside of the under the table, you would have seen that happen. You do not have to engage if you do not want to, but you certainly are welcome to try. Okay. Monowire is a melee weapon, so you'd have to pop out. So you're kind of moving like across underneath the table, crawling over to him, and then lashing the one that's like standing over Thorn.
Yeah, it says I can be 3 squares away, so like I pop out from behind.
I can't read good. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you just pop whip. Okay. 20 will hit. The damage will. It will get in 1 point of damage into him.
Damn.
They have flak armor, so they have 15 SP, which means half would be 7, and then 8 damage. So yeah, you do 1 point of damage with it. You kind of lash into him. It kind of wraps around his arm, and he kind of looks over at you, and then he says something. It sounds like Japanese, and kind of annoyed look. Again, you can't see his face. It's a dispassionate like helmet, but yeah. Do you want to move?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Go ahead and do so.
Is my movement speed the green circle, or is that something else?
The green circle, yeah, and it's a number of squares equal to that amount, so 6 squares. That it?
Yep.
He will give chase.
Fuck him.
This guy will stand over Thorn, his shotgun pointed down at you, and he says, "Don't even try it. Toss it away." And then this guy will jump through this spot here, and when he does so, you see him kind of like move the shotgun over his shoulder. You hear a metallic clunk as he kind of snaps it onto his back. He then turns to come at you, and I need you to make an evasion roll twice, please, Cersei.
Hold, please.
I'm sorry, once, just once.
Okay, cool.
Fighting.
Is that
Evasion is under fighting.
There it is.
Okay, so he reaches in and tries to grab your rifle, and you kind of pull back and drop it low, and then kind of shrug with your shoulder to kind of push him back, and you see him kind of annoyedly look at you and say, "Stop resisting!" All right, Alex, you are up.
You're not that.
You know, they're using like police language, but they don't look like any police
They're a
I've
security
heard of,
team.
right?
Militech does the same thing.
Okay. So I am going to. Yeah, I can move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not too much.
Yes, Arasaka cops are bad.
Okay, so I'm gonna like move here and duck, and then
Okay.
I'm gonna shout out, "Watch out! Um, watch out, Rem! Get those fuckers! You have an extra attack, an extra action
On your
Rem.
turn.
Ooh.
On your turn.
And a quick note too: when it comes to attacks with that extra action, it'll be at rate of fire 1. So if you attack full itinerary
So,
and then make an
3
extra,
attacks.
correct. Alex, you're done. Thorn, you're up. Well, actually, no. Sorry, you're prone. You're laying.
Yeah, and I have a shotgun basically pointed at my head, so I'm just gonna.
Do you toss
I'm
the
just
gun
gonna-
away as you were ordered, or no?
I mean, it is kind of strapped to me with like a guitar strap, so while on my back, it's very hard to toss it
You
away.
toss it
but I
over
will
your
put-
head. It'll kind of.
Yeah. Rude to try and
Guitar
bootleg a
gun.
concert.
Okay, so yeah, he doesn't hold on you. The second you get rid of the shotgun, he's going to change his attention. Ares.
For the record, I can punch really well, so we'll see what happens in future
He's
rounds.
currently not paying attention to you, nor is his ready to action active. If you want to do it now,
There is
no
a
way.
giant fucking drone and 2 more heavy people right behind him.
That is true.
I am drunk, but I am not that drunk.
Drunk
You're
is not
drunk,
me.
not stupid.
Is this like the door to the kitchen or something? Is that unlocked?
So there, that is just an access port. Do you see how there's like this little private section here?
Yeah.
That's the manager's booth, and it goes up to a balcony up above, kind of like an alcove. And you know, from having been to this place a couple times in your tenure here, there is a back door that is out this way.
Just move that way for now.
Okay. Or,
We're, if I remember the map correctly, we're pretty close to Militech HQ, right?
yeah, it's about 2-3 blocks that way.
Can I radio for a security detail because I'm being what's it called, like admonished, astonished?
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. So you put out a radio call. That'll be your action.
Yeah, it's my action.
Yeah.
Help.
And I need you to roll me a d6.
I'm so good at Warhammer. Yeah, that's so good at.
Okay. So that will denote how soon a Militech AV will be inbound.
Shit, I want to roll low.
Ares done.
Damn it.
Rem, you are up. You would see that Ares is booking it. Looks like he went into a private lounge over there.
Yeah.
And he is running. You would hear Alex say, "Go get it," and it looks like Cersei is being accosted by the one there. I forgot to do stuff with Bunny Doll. Sorry, hold on. Bunny Doll, you do not
No,
have...
you can keep forgetting.
No,
That's fine.
no. Do you have reflexes 8 or higher?
Oh gosh, I don't think so. Let me check. No, 6.
Okay. Straight rat! He yells as he comes up behind you, and the shotgun blasts. You're going to take a total of... It looks like it's going to be 15 points of damage. Your armor will defend against it normally.
I can't do evasion.
No, because you said you don't have a reflex of 8 or higher.
No, but I have a lot of evasion.
Do you have reflex booster or reflex co-processor? Let me check your stuff. Hold
I
on.
have no idea.
Dodging bullets is hard. Dodging people is easier. He is shooting you with a shotgun. Let's see. You do not have a reflex co-processor. That is definitely on the docket for you to get. You definitely want one of those.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, comes up behind you, shoots you with a shotgun. You feel it kind of hit you in the back, but again, you would also note that it's not penetrating. It is rubber rounds hitting you in the back. Most of your armor is going to soak that, though. Again, it's a total of 15 damage. Reduce your the amount by your armor. It also will not ablate your armor because it's rubber rounds.
How much damage? It was 15,
15.
and then minus my armor.
Your armor is 11, probably, right?
7.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Kevlar. Cool. So then it'll be the difference between that. That's a number, right? 8?
Yeah.
8? Yeah.
That's
Math is not my strong suit.
It's great as mine.
Me either.
Remy, you are up.
So I think Cersei can take care of that asshole herself. So she's gonna pop right here behind this guy and give him a little. Where'd my fucking sheet go? There it is. Little stab in the back, if you will.
Okay.
And by a stab, I mean 3.
Nice, yeah.
We got 18, 29, 21.
So the 18 will miss, the 19 and the 21 will hit because he sees you kind of move behind him, kind of spins around and kind of dodges the first one, and then you kind of rake the other 2 across his chest. Give him, let's see the damage.
I said
on
29, which was a crit.
the 18, the 29 is fine, the 21 is fine. Crits only are crit. That's just a critical success, not critical injury. So
I'm just saying.
the 5 damage will do nothing, and the 3 damage will do nothing. As you kind of slash across his chest, you can see that the flak armor ignores that. So the reason why is, again, his armor is a 15. It was reduced by 1 already because of being shot. He has a 14 current stopping power, and so that half would be still 7. So 5 isn't high enough, and 3 isn't high enough.
Still getting his attention, though.
Oh, yeah.
Did you already use your extra action?
That's all 3 attacks, yeah. All right, Cersei, you are up. The guy in front of you is kind of like in a, it's almost like a karate pose, I would say, and is trying to kind of take the gun out of your hands, but that failed. So
Okay. So I kind of want to swing the gun around and pull out my cool katana.
okay,
And I want to put the acid on it because that will ablate armor, right?
correct. And then you can't roll cool dice because the sheet will always forever be broken. I genuinely do not understand why. So just roll a melee weapons attack.
Fighting. Melee weapon.
Okay. So you bring it in, and he kind of moves to dodge and like raises his arm up, and that was his flaw. It kind of cuts right into his arm. Go ahead and roll. It's going to be 4d6. Okay. So it's having his armor, which is a 7, which means you're going to be doing 10 damage to him, and his armor is ablated by 2.
Okay. And I also want to shout at Amelia to follow Ares.
Okay. You then hear him as he kind of takes the cut of the arm and you kind of retract the blade up. He says something in Japanese, and you would see that the drone, the gun mode, you see its guns kind of flip back inside, and 2 other guns drop down instead. The 2 dudes who are in heavier armor, they look like they're raising up their very big guns.
Great.
Cersei, you still have movement if you'd like.
Yeah. So, like, I kind of like when I shouted at Amelia, can she start?
Did you tell her to run?
Yes, like follow Ares, run.
So finish your turn out, and then she'll take her turn immediately after.
Okay, because what? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to click on me like that, dummy. Because I want to cover her rear, like while she's running that way.
So yeah, just because of the way pacing goes, you'll have to end where you kind of want to stop, and then she'll move past you. You've lived with her, so you know she has a movement of 6.
Okay. I'll stop here.
Okay, she gets up and she'll move her speed, and then she's going to run because that's what she was ordered to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then Ares, as she runs past you and kind of rushes up the stairs, as you're kind of making the phone call, like squatted in the defensive line, you see like there's a look of panic on her face. Make a human perception roll.
To do that is awareness? No.
Social.
I mean, 19.
19. Okay. You know for certain that she is pretty. She has a guilty look on her face. You do not know why that's the case, but you're pretty sure that she had a very guilty look on her face, like she expected this, or this was something that was in her mind that could have happened, and she's now seeing it unfold as such. Is this? No, that doesn't work. I need a good song, you guys. Is this one good?
That one was a bop. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but the ending of it was kind of like cycling into like a thing. It's Wushu Dolls is pretty good. I don't disagree, but this one? Yeah,
Alright.
no. This one. Maybe. No, too slow. This one.
This will be the rest of the game, ladies and gentlemen.
3 hours later.
Cersei done. Bunny Doll, you're up.
Okay, would it be an effective attack if I take one of the habanero filled takoyaki and like shove it in his eyes?
He's wearing a full helmet.
Damn it!
Damn.
I
Yeah,
thought that was probably the case.
I
Sorry.
love
You have
that
to use the
idea,
windshield
though.
wiper.
This is what he looks like.
Where the hell is his eyes?
Yeah.
He doesn't have eyes.
Crystal dome plating on the inside, so he sees out of full armor.
Oh, that's so cool, but so
Well,
bad.
you could smear
Yeah.
it on there so then he can't see.
They're not Daleks, Jesus Christ.
Does he have a squeegee on him?
My
Sure.
vision is
What about a-
pad?
What about a plunger?
Yeah. He has a plunger. as the
Or a
shotgun.
whisk? A whisk.
That whisk is fucking
Okay, so
deadly.
I try to attack him again, and after that hit, I'm gonna once again move in retreat.
Okay. So that will hit, and it does some damage. Looks like it's going to uplate his armor a bit. And then he's currently sitting at -2. 13, 6. 5 damage in. Okay. And then retreat. Okay. Alright. And that's it?
I believe so.
Yeah, whatever that guy said a second ago, this guy says also. It'll go to them.
Oink, oink.
This individual is going to move. It's more in Japanese, so.
Oinku, oinku.
Oinku. Correct.
Oh my god.
This one will move in here, like so. This one will move to here, kind of stepping over Thorn, and then this one is going to pop through the broken material there to here. Oh, and then this one's going to move to Cersei again.
Come at me, bitch.
And as you kind of like are holding your sword and kind of like holding the defensive line, you see him rush forward, and as he does so, his arms move out to the side, and you watch as 2 mantis blades, one in each arm, pop out, and he comes in with them, and you see as they're coming towards you, they glow bright red.
That sounds terrible. Love it.
2 evasion rolls from you. Lucky. So whoosh whoosh, 2 blades kind of cut past, and you're able to dodge both. You recognize that he's rocking thermal mantis blades, so if they cut, they're gonna burn. This lady here immediately scrolls. You can see her eyes turn red. You can tell a netrunner when you've seen one. And Alex, you're able to identify that your neuroport has been accessed and someone is inside of your net architecture.
Mine?
Yeah. Do you have self-ice installed? Do we
No.
have your neuroport? Okay. So you are immediately hit with a quick hack. Then, let me see if I can get it. Yep. So success. And, sorry, here. As John tries to quick hack.
I don't like this.
This is so rude.
I don't like this at all.
Okay, so they have utilized the quick hack in pair movement. Your movement is lowered by 1 for 20 rounds.
What the fuck?
Fucking dicks.
For real.
Oh, sorry, hold on. Jack
What?
in.
What?
Oh, I'm gonna install it again because she has enough net actions to do so. So again, okay, it's lowered by 2 for 60 seconds. Okay,
Cool.
She's done. Then it goes to the ones on Rem. One of them's going to kind of look over at Bunny Doll, and as he's doing so, you see him kind of just drop his shotgun off to the side, and then raise his arm up and point it at you. You then watch as a projectile launch system pops out of his forearm, and he fires it straight at you, Bunny Doll. Again, you don't have evasion. And you're not as lucky as Cersei in this one. It's going to hit you dead on in the chest. It counts as armor piercing, so it's going to treat your armor as half, which is currently a 6. It's going to do a total of 19 points of damage to you. So 6 reduced, it'll be 13 damage straight. And basically, it fires this massive solo round straight into you. It's not technically an explosive rocket or missile. It's just a hard-shelled rocket device that kind of hits with like a force of a cannon, basically.
A wrist-mounted potato gun.
Correct. That's exactly right. That's a projectile launch system in a nutshell. The one that didn't shoot at Bunny Doll is going to attack you, Rem. Since you have not technically provided lethal threat, they're going to shoot you point blank with a shotgun. You do have the reflex to dodge, so go ahead and make an evasion roll.
Okay.
I got a total of 16 for the attack, so you need a 16 or better.
Sorry, I clicked body for some reason.
Okay.
No.
So the shotgun shell is going to hit you dead on. It being a rubber round, these double 6s I rolled for a total of 17 damage. So take the damage accordingly. Your armor does not ablate because it's rubber. But it does rubber rounds.
You said 16?
17.
17.
Yep. Double 6 and a 5. Cannot cause critical injury, period. Okay, cool. Okay, so yeah, just point blank shot with a rubber spread. And does not knock you down. The 2 that walked in with the big guns, you see them kind of like drop their weapons down and start sweeping, and it looks like they're kind of locking on to individuals. It looks like this one here is locked onto Bunny Doll, and this one here behind the paneling is locked onto Cersei. The 2 lethal threats at current. The drone moves into the space behind this wall, and it's just kind of floating over the desk. It's almost touching the ceiling. So you can see its goofy like red eyes like over the top of like the divide. It's like, yeah, it's doing a Wilson. Alex, you're up.
Okay. So I cannot like fully 100% see it from where I am,
you can
right?
shoot it. Drones are it's big enough. This
I
drone
wonder
is big
if-
enough.
I can shoot it.
If you wanted to, you can see it. I didn't know if you were trying to shoot it. That's why you said I see it.
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how scared I am of it. I can see its creepy little drone eyes
Yeah, kind of like if
popping
you
out over the top.
Yeah, if you look at the token, it's like you can kind of see like right a little below the eye level, the red eye level,
Yeah.
and like the top
Yeah.
of its big old.
Yeah, what if you saw an industrial-sized Roomba floating outside of your window at night? How would you feel? That's how you feel right now.
That's how you feel right now.
The
With red
Netrunner-
eyes. Let's not forget that.
This is the
That
girl
is
who
how I
she's the
feel
one
right
messing
now.
with you. Turn off your legs.
Oh, the red runner, the
No.
Netrunner. I do hate that red Netrunner right now.
Yeah,
That's a great call. Thank you.
When she broke into you, when she breached, it was identified, so you know that she's in there, and she's the only one with glowing red eyes that are visible, and seems to be kind of not shooting people. So it's pretty easy to tell a Netrunner when you see one.
All right, time to shoot a Netrunner.
She's very violating.
Okay.
I rolled a 20.
That'll hit at this range, and damage is 16. She is not wearing heavy armor like the others. It looks like she's just wearing a bodyweight suit. That'll ablate and take 5 damage. You are using a heavy pistol, so that means you get rate of fire 2 if you take a second shot.
17.
That'll also hit at this range. Not so great on the damage. That one's actually not going to get through.
I'll move back here.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Yeah, once you get inside, you're kind of like pushing past like a kind of like a panel system, so it's like kind of hard to breach through, but like not hard to breach through. It's like a hard surface that will be hard to shoot through, I guess is the way I'm trying to say it. And once you're inside this private booth, there's like this sense of like claustrophobia as you're in there, and you're probably hearing the like last half of Ares calling in like air support.
Can I be here and like
At the
be
door?
in? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. You basically pop in, brace against the door, and kind of are looking out just to make sure others are following. Okay, Thorn, you are on the ground and nobody is fucking with you. You can continue.
So I actually have a question.
Yeah.
I have rate of fire 2 for my monowire. Should I be doing double attacks?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Go ahead and throw a second one at the guy you lashed at. They're already mad at you, so, I mean, it's not like you're going to change that. Okay, he'll not evade, and... Oh, no. I didn't want 2 more. I'm just giving you a preview 1 time.
Oh. Well, you suck.
She has used it twice, haven't you?
She has, but I'm not going that far back. Come on now.
Jeez. Okay, well, 1 is fine.
Alright.
Take the higher one.
It was the first one anyway.
And their armor was at a -4, so 11. Half would be 5, so 6 damage. -12 total. Cool. Alright, Ares, or Thorn, sorry. You are up as Sands of Time back to the part where their mono whip flashing an extra time, and then whoosh back into, yeah.
I know I'm not really able to use charismatic impact in a fight, but do any of them recognize me?
What you can do is if you want to stand up and try and kind of create a situation where the guy who's like right here is kind of focused on you and you're trying to kind of like use your bravado and charismatic impact, what I'll let you do is you can make a stare down. And basically you can get up and you go, "You are a suck of fucks, ruining my party," or something cool like that. If you want to throw out a better line than that, I was kind of garbage. And then what you'll do is you're going to do a stare down.
Do you know who I am?
A stare down is what I think they're called, but I'm wrong. What are they called?
This tracks.
They always come up never, and then I always forget what they're called. I'm gonna figure it out. Hold on.
I believe in you.
I have a perk that says immediate face down. Face down.
Face down. That also makes sense.
But you're staring though, you know? It's like, okay. So you're gonna
Yeah,
roll,
but you're face to
Face.
face.
you're gonna roll a d10. For the purposes of your reputation in this effect, because you are Thorn of Diamond Gonk, you're going to add reputation 7, and then you're going to add your cool. So roll a d10, add 7, and cool.
Alright, I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna go over here to get the bottle that I'm sure got dropped.
Yeah.
And be like, don't bootleg the fucking don't you know who I am? Did you guys get tickets?
Okay. Roll that d10. Let's add some numbers. Jesus Christ. Okay, so this guy here, who's got like a gun trained on Cersei, kind of looks over at you, and it's kind of like, you know, there's like a momentary like shirk of the head, like disgust, and then you see him kind of turn back to Cersei, then he looks back over at you and goes, "Holy shit!" And he'll kind of like move back and kind of lower his gun, and then you hear him saying something in Japanese, and he's backing away. And that's your turn. Ares, you are up.
Alex is holding the door open, right?
Alex is not holding the door open. She's standing near that little... It's not really a door. It's kind of more like a...
One of those swing ones?
It's like one of them swing ones, but it's like transparent also.
Well, you said it's hard to like get stuff through it, so I just want to know if...
No, it's hard
they're-
to shoot through it. It's hard to
like
wanna
a metal glass door.
Yeah,
I want to throw a smoke grenade. Is what I'm
you
trying
can throw
to
it over.
say. Okay, sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah. At this point, I'm just trying to buy time for the cavalry. I think I want to get it so that the smoke is covering where I am. So I'd like to aim it like here.
Okay.
I think it's like a 10 by 10 or 10
Yeah.
meters.
So you chuck it, and grenade explosions are it's 5 by 5 squares. So you want it to land there. 1, 2. That'll look good.
Is there any way we could shove it over one to the right? I just want to help out Cersei.
Thanks.
That's a
Yeah.
beauty.
Smoke.
Love smoke. And then for my movement, I'm gonna go up these stairs, and I want to kind of get in front of Amelia. I know I don't have an action, but I do have my gun out. I just kind of want to point it toward her, not like threateningly, but kind of like gesture her to like get down, like stop running.
Okay.
Then I'm just gonna say something like kind of cryptic and esoteric to her, maybe to kind of throw her off since she's panicking.
Do you get down as well?
Yeah, like I'm gonna kind of get down with her.
Okay. Rem.
Well, I guess we're here to party. Which one attacked me?
The one to the right. The
Okay,
one to the
one.
left is kind of monowire cut up, though.
This one is the monowire.
Yeah, it got cut up a little bit.
Okay. She'll go ahead and do that thing she does again.
Oh, cool. It's got smoke. That's neat. I was like, what am I seeing?
Animated smoke.
3.
Sorry, I'm not paying attention to the dice rolls.
Sorry.
Those will
Jesus
both
Christ.
hit. The first one won't. You're attacking the one on the south, right?
Yeah.
Change layer to map. Click. The first one will do 14, 11, 5. The first one will do no damage. The second one will get through. Looks like it's going to do 2 damage and 1 ablade.
That's what I thought.
You're cutting through that armor though.
Hell yeah.
He's down to 10 now, so.
Sick.
Okay. So the smoke hits. Anybody inside of the smoke, you have a -2 to all rolls. That will happen effectively at the bottom of the initiative. Smoke takes a second to discharge. So Rem, you're not affected for those rolls. But then it goes to Cersei. The smoke is basically dispelling outwards. The guy you're fighting, you can still see him a bit. But again, because of the smoke, if you're attacking... No, only if you're in it. So if you're attacking into it, you're fine.
Okay,
Tactical smoke.
nice. So I'm gonna keep swinging with
Okay.
this. Because it's got that acid on it.
Yeah.
Does that do that pigeon every time?
So it's just on the one hit. So... but no, it's for 1 minute. Sorry. So yeah.
Okay, well, in this one I gotta do. Because that works.
Okay, so he's going to dodge that one. So as you kind of bring the blade in and strike down at him, you see him kind of raise up the mantis blades, look at the blade for a second. Seems like he recognizes what it is, and kind of pushes his forearms up into the sword guard and your hands that are holding it. Kind of buttresses to like block at that point to push away. And the katana is a very heavy melee weapon, so it only gets to attack once, rate of fire 1. Cersei, after the strike, do you wish to move? Again, you don't see Amelia right now because she's ducking, but you did see her go up the stairs and start running.
Yeah. And then I know that Alex is, there as well. So if we're not all making tactical retreats, then no, I'm probably gonna hold my
Okay.
ground here.
Bunny doll. Whipping into the smoke.
Yep.
Okay. He will not dodge the first one. He will dodge the second one. 10. He's currently sitting at 13. Half is 6. So 4 damage and a blade.
Nice.
All right. So you see him kind of like the first one kind of strikes him. His head kind of turns in your direction, and as the glowing yellow line flies in, you see him kind of shift to the side and take it on the lightly on the shoulder. No armor damage. Any movement from anybody at all?
Yeah, I'll move back into cover.
Okay. All right. So at the start of the Arasaka initiative, the drone who kind of settled up in like a up air position, you hear a whirring sound, and then the entire space becomes filled with this just cacophony of gunfire. It's a large, multi-barreled, high-caliber weapon that is now just blazing through the entirety of the space. Cersei, Alex, Bunny Doll, Ares, and Amelia, who failed, need to make a concentration roll. Concentration is under awareness, sorry. Okay. 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 I'm missing.
Sorry, what did they do that's causing this?
This is suppressing fire.
Oh. I got a tap.
Pop, 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 pop.
I think I just need Alex.
What am I rolling?
Concentration. It's under awareness.
And I don't need to roll it, right?
You are outside, yeah. Okay. So Alex and Bunny Doll succeed, everyone else fails. This is a high-powered suppressing fire. Suppressing fire normally says if you fail the concentration during your next turn, all you can do is go for cover and then take an action if you get to cover. That's not the case with high suppressing. It is blowing up the cover. The only action you can take is hunker down, which means you are going to drop prone, period. Unless you pass, then you can go to cover. But the cover that you're currently in or around, if it's near you, it's gone. It is literally obliterating it. It is just a hail of bullets that are just smashing through the back end of the space. So Bunny Doll and Alex, you are fine to act as normal as you run through the gunfire. Everyone else, you're boned, and if you were in cover, you are no longer in cover. Then the operators will all turn their attention to the smoke situation. You hear someone kind of grumble in Japanese, pick up the smoke canister, and throw it out the door. And I'm trying to remove it, but it's not working. So I guess that means
Well, guess it doesn't work. Oh well.
Gone.
Let's give it a -4 to his remove smoke canister check.
He grabbed it and just chucked it out the door over out the door they entered in.
That's those fine Militech arms.
The two that are hanging out with Rem, again, you are engaging martially and trying to fight. So they put the shotguns onto their backs. One has a projectile launch system, that would be the one to the south, so that's no good. He's just going to go fisticuffs, 2 evasion rolls. And then the other one is going to draw a mono wakizashi and fight you with it.
Oh, fancy. I got a 16 and a 33.
Yeah, you dodge the shit out of the puncher, and then I need 2 dodges for the wakizashi. First one is a 13, second one is a... That's not going to be one that goes up. The one does. Your armor is armor value, what, 11?
Yeah. No, it's at a 10 right now.
Okay. So still not ignored by his weapon yet. It'll do a total of 14, so reduce it as appropriate, and ablate as normal. This guy is going to take the shot at Bunny Doll, who is currently not in cover. Oh, okay. Not ideal. Oh, this lady would have. She's fucking gone. So that is going to hit. It's only going to do 13 points of damage. So armor reduction as normal. Very unfortunate. It would have been cooler if I rolled higher on the auto fire.
Did I need to reduce my armor with the last hit I took? Because I just took the straight 19 damage. Okay.
The armor piercing one should have been -2 to the chest. You would have only taken, if it was 19, you would have reduced it by 7 first, taken 12, and then you would have reduced your armor of 7 down to 5. Now that you're taking 13, you're going to instead take 8, and then your armor will be reduced to 4. Make sense? It's so much math.
No, I just need to do math.
I think the total number of hit points, it's 9 plus 7. Or 9 plus 12. So that's the total damage you've taken. Okay. And that is it. This guy is going to back off to the door. And you see, it's like he's looking outside talking to somebody, but you don't know what they're saying because, again, they're talking in Japanese. Oh, right. This guy is the canister thrower. Cool. Oh, the net runner, sorry. Still jacked into Alex. Since you are not behaving, I'm going to...
Stop jacking me!
I'm going to continue to detain you. 1, success. 2, success. 3, success. Your movement will reduce by 3.
Great.
Great.
Is your movement 0 yet?
You did 2, then you did 3, now it is 0.
Okay. You cannot take move actions, period. So even if they're like move actions that do other stuff, you just cannot take move actions at all. You have been
maybe I didn't want to. Oh, I don't have a choice.
Impaired for your movement. Alex, you are up and kind of stuck there, kind of leaning on the remnants of the cover.
Well,
see the Netrunner kind of look at you, eyes still glowing red, and then flaring across your screen, you see words, almost like a text being forced on you in like a digital method. It says, "Drop your weapon. Fall to the floor." Okay, you shooting at her?
yeah.
That hits. It'll ablate the armor again, and that'll put her down to 10 4 damage, and then 9 4 damage, so -8 total. Okay, she takes the shots and kind of like angrily looks at you. You see the text on your screen dissipate, and then you see a kill sign appear on your screen inside of your neuroport. And the next quick hack will not be as timid. Thorn, you're up.
I am gonna take a step over towards our buddy here, and still looking at this one, be like, "What do we have to do to get out of here? What is this?"
You can fucking leave. It's fine. we gotta detain. We've got to detain the Militech guy.
Can I take her?
Yeah. You grab up Victra and walk out? Okay.
Yep.
When you get outside, you would see a Arasaka sleek, very thin AV kind of seated on the balcony level. Like I said, you're on the 26th floor. And you would see the man who kind of walked up to the front and kind of like had that weird discourse with Victra or whoever before. And he looks like...
An asshole.
An asshole. He looks like this.
Yeah, that is a very accurate.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just standing there, kind of like arms crossed. He looks at you, and you walk out, and he's looking at his associate. Do you just head off, or like, are you going to stick around close? Is this turning into? I'm asking, is this going to turn into a double cross, or are we good with you escaping with Victra?
I think Thorn would escape with Victra, seeing these odds. I'm sorry, everybody.
Again,
no, that's fair.
Absolutely fair. Ares will like be mad, but at the same time be like, Thanks for saving my employee. Once you
And,
get down a
That
ways,
is what he asked for, after
Yeah.
all.
once you
And
get
the common few eddies.
once you get down a ways, since you were here in the pregame, you would see Severo laying on the ground, and it looks like he's in zip ties.
Oh boy.
But yeah,
I don't
you-
think I can take that one with me,
Yeah,
but
that one looks like they put a claim on it. So Ares, you are up again, not aware of the situation outside, and this is turn 3 of 6 plus 2.
Oh my
Ac-
god.
actually, John, given that Thorn and Ares have contact, can Thorn just send a text message
Yeah.
about that
I
scene
got a picture
outside?
of we're dipping. Severo's outside. Looks like he's detained. Right.
Yep.
Ares, the entirety of the balcony you're on has just been like sprayed with bullets. It's still currently being sprayed with bullets. Your turn is prone.
Okay, so I'm prone with Amelia.
Yep.
She's not trying to like do anything funny, right? Like she's just hanging out.
She has no choice. You as well have no choice. Your turn is completely just
Okay, I just don't want to make
obliterated by the suppressing.
sure she's reaching for something.
Yep, no, none of that. So yeah, because of the way the heavy suppressing fire works, you are literally just maintaining cover in that you are prone. Rem,
Then I'll just. Can I use my action to like respond to Thorn then?
No. Yeah, I mean, that's not an action. That's free.
Oh.
You can reply.
If he's saying that he's got Victor but Severo's tied up, I request that he like put her somewhere safe, like an alley, and then go back for Severo. Like I do not want him in Arasaka's custody.
Okay. He's got the phone. He's got a girl over his shoulder and he's just like texting. Big ass rocker shoulders. He's just like, okay. What's it gonna cost? Okay, so Cersei, you failed yours, right?
Yeah.
You
Whoa,
dropped
whoa,
prone.
whoa.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
I did it
text
again.
him.
Ram, sorry, go. God damn, I gotta do it at least
Here.
once, right?
Yeah. Oh shit. I need them to add these to the fucking sheet. The judo. Hold on, I have my
You're
counter
looking for the-
throw. I dodged all melee attacks
Yep.
that were. Oh wait. But is that just against one person?
Yeah, you can't make multiple counter throws.
Okay, so the guy who I missed all the attacks from, the punchies.
Yeah.
I would like to counter throw him into his person, his buddy.
Okay.
I know that's not like
No,
really
I like
how
it.
that works.
So basically, like this guy's punching at you. You see a katana like swing come in, and you kind of lean in forward, push yourself against him, grasp hold of him, and then spin around. As you're spinning around, you feel the second lash of the wakizashi slash against your shoulder, and then you're bringing him around and just like.
Yeah, hold on. I have to do the roll though.
Yeah, you need to beat a DV 15.
20.
Yep, nailed it.
So
you kind of bring him like around like this, and then bring him right into him, slamming into him. I'll go ahead and move him back in there for posterity, and then it's a throw, so it's going to deal body. It's going to do it to both of them. What's your body score?
my body is 7.
And it'll ignore armor.
Yes.
So it absolutely messes with the guy who had the katana. But it looks like it's the first time that the puncher guy has actually taken damage. So it looks like this guy is now seriously injured. And what I'm going to say for you here is, just to kind of put into context the situation, this guy here is actually outside. You have no idea what he's doing. And it does look like there is a beeline for you out the front door. What you're also noticing is as you engage in that very kind of high flourish move, and everyone else on the other side is kind of like ducking for cover, all 4 of the guys who are currently still inside are now looking at you. You have a move if you want.
I don't think I can make it outside. I cannot.
What's your move?
It is 6.
You can make it to the door.
Fuck it, yeah.
Okay. Once you get to the door, you see Guy. You can actually go one more square if you want. Because you don't have to go around the partition. The partition's been obliterated.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
we shot the shit out of this place. you would see the guy standing near the AV, and then the security guy, and then he hasn't gotten very far. Maybe like dozens or so square, or like a few squares or so that way. There's Thorn. When you come out, go ahead.
When I come out to the door and see the very official-looking guy, she'll kind of yell at him like, "What the fuck do you want?"
He doesn't reply yet. It'll go to Cersei, and then you failed your concentration check, so you were fuck as the bullets are just hailing through. Bunny doll.
You said that I can move behind cover if I wasn't behind cover.
If you pass, you can do that. If you fail, it is literally go to ground. It's literally just obliterating fire. So yeah, your turn is basically locked out because of the heavy guns. Cersei done. You're pinned is the correct terminology. So Bunny doll, you pass yours. You can move, but you need to end your turn in cover. And the cover that you are currently in is gone.
Yep. I noticed there's a door near me. Will that enable me to go outside, or am I?
That door there looks like it goes
like...
to the kitchen. You don't know if it goes to an outside or not, but it's definitely not in here. So if you want to fuck off and ditch, that is an option.
I think I'm gonna at least hang out in the kitchen for a little bit.
The second you pop in, you see straight across the way, there's a swinging door, like a metal swinging door, and it looks like you see sunlight, or at least neon light. And I'll say if you're just booking it, you're getting the fuck out of Dodge, you can make it out the door. Dipset? Out?
Yep.
Okay. Better part of Valor, we'd love to see it. It'll go to them. I'm gonna say that because they switched to melee weapons, they kind of assess the situation, and they'll look to Cersei. One of them is going to follow you, Rem, and kind of get behind you with the gun. And say, last chance, hands up, drop him, or drop to your knees, to Rem. No response, no response is required, but just mechanically so you understand he's readying an action to shoot you if you do not comply.
Yeah.
And then these ones are going to move like so. Like I said, the walls have been broken out around you, Alex, and you would see on your little screen the death marker I'd noted, and you see a quick hack being uploaded. And that's the last thing you see. Thud. Unconscious, black screen, slight red haze. Oh, right. The Netrunner, after installing that quick hack, will kind of look over to the situation. The gunfire ceases. Everything goes like eerily quiet for a second, and you hear the Netrunner yell out to the room, Ares, don't try to resist, or we kill everybody here. Alex, you are unconscious. You have been system reset. You'll be unconscious for a minute or until somebody deals damage to you. Thorn, you're fucking off. You've got Victra in tow. You can.
Do I see you hear the situation with Rem back there if I look over my shoulder?
With Rem, I'd say yeah, that's fine. Say
Right.
she's with me.
Yeah, she's my videographer.
You see the guy in the nice business suit, kind of like, and the guy with the gun trained on you, and the guy with the other trained on you. They kind of lower their weapons. Get the fuck out of here. Ares, you are up.
So this is a balcony, right? So I can kind of see the situation playing out.
It is a balcony, yeah, and the railing has been obliterated, so you can definitely see the whole scope of the situation.
Okay. So I saw Thorn leave. I saw Rem leave. I saw Bunny Doll leave.
Yeah.
I saw Alex just ragdoll to the floor.
It's just me. It's just me and you.
The best way to describe what happened with Alex is like, you know, in video games when like someone like stops, like, you know, like they stop having like the game logic of being able to move. They just kind of fall, right? Like that's exactly how it went.
All right. Well then, seeing the situation kind of fold out, I kind of look down to Cersei and Ares. He just says, Ares in his many fits knows no favorites, and I leave. I just run out the back door.
I would say that because you were prone, you're going to be able to pop up, and if you take the run action, you're going in a straight line, so you can beeline it out 4 times your movement, but minus half your movement. So what's your movement? It's a 6?
5.
5. So it'll be 15 plus 2. Yeah, you're able to book it through the door, and you're out. You are kind of in these weird back rooms of the space, which we'll discuss in a bit. Not a
I'm assuming
problem.
Militech, they're tracking me specifically, right? So, like, just kind of have to
They
not
called,
get caught.
yeah, they called for you specifically in that call out, and you remember the last time they called someone out, they took them away. So they were
No, like
probably-
my backup, like they're tracked on me.
They're tracked
right?
on you. Yeah, your AV's coming for
Okay.
you for sure.
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
I'm just trying to not get caught until then.
Got it.
I don't
got
know
it.
if Kat is a avid reader, but that was a little passage from Homer's Odyssey. Get it? Cersei, Eric.
Rem, you have the option to fuck off or fuck around. Your call. It is Arasaka, by the way, Lark.
The guy's not answering her at all.
He does. He basically, you said what you said, and then Thorn said what Thorn said, and then he went like this, like gesture.
Yeah.
And then the two like heavy armed Arasaka heavies kind of dropped their weapons down and basically said "fuck off."
Yeah. Have I met Servo before?
Severo.
Severo. Sorry.
Yeah, I think so, but I think he went by the name Johann Yovneski when you were.
Yeah. But I recognize him.
Yeah, you probably put 2 and 2 together and figured out he works for the Militech for sure.
Can I point to him and be like, can I take him?
The exec, the guy in the suit, just shakes his head. And when you kind of move towards him, like you're like gesturing, both of the heavies kind of weapons back up.
She'll put her hands up and then start moving towards Thorn.
Okay, you fuck off. Dope.
Yeah.
Cersei, you can actually act this turn. The guy standing above you has redeployed the shotgun and is pointing at you. Stand down, drop your weapon.
Well, so I'd at least like to stand up and kind of look back. And is Amelia still there?
You can't tell. She's higher up and she dropped prone.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna.
You can make a perception roll.
Okay. Do a thing. Let me do a thing. Let me do something. Awareness. Yeah, that sounds like it makes sense.
Awareness, yeah. Yeah, you are aware that she's up there. You can kind of hear her kind of go, "What the fuck?" Like in response to Aries running off.
Okay. So since the whole fucking reason we're in this shit just right out the door, he gets turned into a pig later. But I will, kind of just put my, kind of stand down. Maybe not drop the weapon, but it will kind of.
If you stand up and kind of like, if you kind of set the weapon down because you're prone, you kind of leave it on the ground and then stand up with your hands up.
Okay.
That works. And when you stand up, he kind of goes, "You seem sensible. You're using an Arasaka katana. You must be smart."
Wow. That's awkward.
And as he's saying that to you, it looks like combat is concluded. I'm going to go ahead and chill on the music and explain how the aftermath goes for folks. Thorn, Rem catches up with you. You've got Victra. You're kind of heading out. You look back, and as you see the heavies are kind of outside watching you leave, one of them picks up Severo, like a ragdoll, and then walks over to the AV and just chucks him inside. Do you wish to
What you
drop
gonna
off
do?
Victra and go back, or you're fucking off, right?
There's 2 people that grabbed Severo and threw them in the AV, and there's at least 2 more people up top, or
There's a business guy and 2 heavies outside with an AV, so there's at least a pilot in there.
yeah, those odds aren't great. I'm gonna consider saving 2 other people my good deed for the month. I think that technically makes me a hero.
Yeah, you definitely got paid for that, so you did your job. Rem, are you turning around, or are you taking the better part of valor and kind of staying with Thorn on this, kind of fucking off, letting that happen?
I think she is going to stay fucked off, but she's gonna watch them until they leave.
From a good distance, okay. Like
Yeah.
a safe distance.
Yeah.
Okay. Funny doll.
we can watch. Let's go get drunk somewhere for real after this, where hopefully we don't get busted up again.
Yeah, that really cramped my style.
You break out the back and just book it, right? And you're just gone. Like you could probably make it to the nearest like bus stop within like 5 minutes on a good clip. But you feel like once you kind of get a good distance away, you're broken out. You don't have a problem unless you were doing something different. I'm assuming just running. Is that the case?
I think I want to try to meet up with people, and I already know some people are out, so I'm kind of heading near the
Okay.
front-ish area. But yeah,
Yeah, you got
maybe a
Rem's
couple blocks
contact
away.
for sure. So you kind of like you send out like a mass text to the people you know, and you
Mm,
don't get a reply back from Cersei or Amelia. You don't get a reply back from Alex, and you do get a reply back from Rem, and it says,
uh, she'll send her the address that of like the bar or whatever that Thorn and her are going to.
"Okay, okay, yeah." So you guys doing great. You will reconvene in about 5 or so minutes. We'll discuss what happens more on the inside. Cersei, hands up. You see one of them kind of like pick up Alex and move her over to this couch and sit her down very gently and deliberately. And the Netrunner's like, fucking bitch is lucky. She should have just stood down. And the Arasaka guy like reaches up and slaps her across the mouth. She works for the government. Do not badmouth her. Doji would not have liked it. And she kind of. The other guy goes up the stairs pointing the shotgun at Amelia. Stand up, hands up. You see Amelia kind of get up with me, move, and then pushes her down the stairs to Cersei and like gets her nice and kind of adjacent. Then, once the site is secured and the drone has kind of taken up the mass space, you see the guy walk in. And again, I just want to make sure that we know the guy. I'm going to show the guy again. It's this
That
guy.
asshole.
It's this guy. Walks in like he owns the place. Walks up to the bar, who you can see the bartender is slowly kind of creeping out from underneath. And
Poor
he says, "It will be calmed. Make no mistake. The issue was not supposed to arise to this dramatic a situation. We simply wanted a conversation with the individual. Unfortunately, now we have to deal a bit more directly. I'll have a scotch." And the guy kind of shakily hand like pours a scotch for this guy, who takes the glass, looks over at Cersei, looks over at Amelia, nods his head, walks over, looks at the Netrunner with her red stain or like red slightly bruised face after getting slapped by the soldier, and says, "Bring her back online." And Alex, you feel everything kind of like snap back into reality as the click is
Whoa!
undeployed. You hear the clink in the shake of the glass, and he says, "We have an agreement with the city council. What is an undersecretary of the mayor doing here, meeting with a Militech executive?" "Oh, of course you're not going to answer." He smiles.
Wait.
He
So
says,
I have a question. So, in character at the beginning, I was trying to like suss out. I was trying to suss out if like I knew that they like who these people were. Did I know from the start that they were Arasaka?
"Oh yeah, they definitely don't hide it. Like they're wearing black and red. And the second the
Uh,
fight kind of started unfolding, it was definitely very much Arasaka. Yeah.
I should not have fought back. Okay.
So it's okay. He kind of looks at you like with a smile on his face and just kind of like it's almost like a devil may care kind of like look on his face, and he says, "Of course you're not going to answer, and I don't expect you to. It's absolutely fine. I do want to make sure you understand. I have no problems with you working on behalf of Mayor Perales and divesting your interests. A lot of corporations in Night City, and you want to make sure they're all under thumb. What I don't understand is why you thought this was going to go unanswered. You do understand that everyone you work with It's probably brought in by us. We're already aware of your G situation. What, do you think the Netrunner who pulled the information was loyal to you and Mayor Perales? Perales is a pawn, and you're a pawn of a pawn. And you're going to be playing as a pawn for a high rider, a newcomer, a fresh face that hides behind a mask. Tell me what you know about Ares. Of course you're not going to answer, he says again, smiling, and he sits down.
Wait. I mean, like, he's not giving. You know, it's like you're not.
No, it seems like it's intentional. Like just as you're about to say something, he says, "Of course you're not going to answer," and he sits down in front of you. He sets his glass down like on the table between you two, and he says, "I of course do not care. He's probably escaped on a basilisk, and is flying off back to his tower, where he fucking belongs." You do understand that the last time Militech was in this city, they ruled with an iron fist. They had tanks swarming about in town, troop patrols on the active. Well before the Unification War, during the time of the Red. You're probably too young, and based on your time in Mexico and university, I assume that you weren't around during our most laborious times, where we had to hide in shadow just to make sure the work of protecting people was done. It's sad, really. If you were here dealing with the scuffles your associates who so diligently ran away had to deal with in their childhoods, I'm sure that you'd be more receptive to our understanding of how the city should be run, and you wouldn't be back alley dealing with some Militech swine. I hold no slight against you, nor do I think I'm going to log this instance of your presence here on any report of mine. We'll keep it off book. But I assure you, if you keep treating with Militech, we will have words. Regarding your G problem, what did the Militech representative say he was suffering from? What was his problem with this G?
What is any of our problem with G?
He reaches down and grabs his glass and raises it up, takes a sip. I suppose I was a bit too casual with my first questions, not expecting an answer and just asking them all flippantly. I did not expect a question back. I demand an answer. I need to know exactly what he was requesting in your partnership and why G was a malady to him.
G and the network of scabs under his control is abducting people. Denizens of Night City, whether my constituents and voters or Militech employees or Arasaka employees, I don't think anyone is safe unless those that are aligned with G might be safe.
I can tell you that this individual's practice seems to be moving a drug called carry-on. Again, I haven't seen it properly spelled. They could mean carry on as in corpses or carry on as in something you take with you on a flight. But this drug is apparently being home brewed here in Night City. After detailing the location that was noted by the Netrunner on your report, I can tell you that the space underground is being fully and completely secured. Any trace of this G individual that's present will be followed up on and handled appropriately. I need you to cease your business with Militech. And I need you to understand that Militech is a snake in the grass. It simply wishes to bite to weaken so that the NUSA can enter into this city once again. They think simply because we had a bad summer that we are not ready for their machinations. That is simply not true. If you wish to be in bed with him and his ilk, then lay with dogs and you shall get fleas. Otherwise, maintain the peace that Holt's office established during the Unification Wars, and we will make sure that the city does not burn like it did in 2023. Militech are reckless, and they do not care who dies. Innocent, guilty, does not matter. As long as they get what they want. I'd hoped, based on reading your reports and detailed information regarding your upbringing, that you'd be more inclined in seeing that the people of Night City are of utmost importance. In another fight between us and the NUSA. When I say us, I don't mean Arasaka, I mean Night City. Is not something we want to put back on the table. Understood?
Right now, the greatest danger, a danger I have seen firsthand, to the people of this city, is the movement being promulgated by G, by God himself.
I
won't. I'm not afraid to rally for our people. You're calling the shots. You have higher connections than I do.
Then set up a meeting with me in Ares.
Why didn't you do that in the first place?
Meeting like this?
Well, he didn't let me
Are
in.
you looking to?
We did you call?
I think we can agree that was a fucked up way for you to show up.
No, I don't disagree. There was a little bit of action on our part, but again, with Militech, you show force or you don't. If we had waited another 30 seconds during our attempts to detain him, a Basilisk would have arrived and chain gunned the shit out of this place, killing everybody but him. That's how Militech operates. You're lucky we ran him off.
Are you trying to say that his plan was to kill everyone in this
He reaches
space?
into his jacket, pulls out a data pad, and tosses it onto the table. It shows an operational output of the area you're in from a satellite view, and you can see about a block away, which is I think about as far as Ares would have gotten in that time, a Militech AV that is uncharted moving out of the location. And he says, "A Basilisk. Militech ordered 6 individuals on board, all with Ajaxes, a door gunner loaded out with constitutional arms, defender 260 or 2607s, I believe. I don't know the model exactly that they use in their door gunners. 2 heavily mounted chain guns on the front of the Basilisk, up armored, and they would have shot our AV off of the side of the balcony and then obliterated everyone inside to ensure the asset was safe. Militech security does not care about nuance. They care about orders. It would have been quick, it would have been seamless, it would have been smooth. And unfortunately, I did not bring the capability to fight that because I didn't think it was going to be the first move that he would have deployed. But as you can see, and he gestures to the data term showing the Militech AV moving off on the chart, it was indeed the very first move he deployed. He cared more about himself than anyone here.
You want a meeting with him?
I want a meeting with him. You can attend if you wish.
Well, let me work on it then.
Take your time. He kind of stands up from his position, looks at the glass, shrugs, like it wasn't that good. And then he kind of makes a gesture like this. And then he stops as everyone starts to kind of round up and move towards the door, looks over his shoulder and says, I apologize for you to get in between this. I will tell you that you did lead us right to him. I'm surprised he made such a bold move, but based on the reporting that I've gotten about him, he doesn't know how we do business here in this city yet. And then he'll walk out.
Well, he's a fucking Martian.
Yeah, he's a fucking Martian.
Yeah, they do differently on Mars.
So you get into your AV, you got the text that shows Victra is acquired. One last thing before he leaves. How we do business in Night City. After that, he says, tell him that his asset will be given back to him only on receipt of a meeting being confirmed. And then he leaves. Sorry, I forgot I had a deal sweetener.
I guess, yeah, you already covered. I was going to say, can I not swoop back around and now that I've got my boys and, like,
so again,
get my shit?
If you don't have an asset to secure that is of exec level, they're not going to move a squad like that in on it. Again, you know it comes in hot, it does the hot shit. However, I will let you make a persuasion roll.
And is Alex too low in the government for them to care about her, even though? Like,
no. If you call in an order like that, I just want to make sure you're clear. It's trauma style. Like, they are literally coming in to rescue you and your team, but only if your team is present and not in the way of their bullets. Like, that's it. Like, the only true thing that matters is that guy with the helmet. Period.
Okay. So I wasn't sure if Doji was trying to intimidate Alex by saying that they were going to literally
real deal.
everyone.
No, Militech would have just mowed through everybody to get to you and pull you out alive.
They wouldn't have tried to like breach and clear to get to me. They would have just started open fire.
It would have been chain guns first to drop down the drone, which could have killed a lot of people inside, and then inside. First, they would have shot the AV down. Actually, probably with missiles.
Like, would they at least kill the Arasaka people first, or would they just?
There's no first. It's all the same time, buddy. It's a literal obliteration.
Okay, so there's no.
Wait.
Have you seen The Matrix?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember the scene where they shoot like the chain gun inside? Like, that's it. You're Neo, and everything else is not Neo, right?
Okay, so they don't care if I'm like working with the edge runners or something. They're just gonna. That's not our guy.
Yeah, if you
we all would have been dead.
If you call that in, it is literally secure you and get you out.
Well,
when you're the hammer, everything looks like a nail.
Chalked up to another instance of Ares' ignorance of just being like, right, I'll just call you.
I mean, I would have been gone. Whatever.
Well, again,
I'll do the persuasion roll.
Situationally, think of the times that you were able to do it outside, right? Like, if you're inside, they're not going to run in there and be like, hey, everybody, we've got guns, because then they get shot. Militech is going to do it in the most efficient way possible. Secure a single asset that they are aware of and have scan on. Simple.
Since you said
can I pull like the curtain?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I want to pull the curtain from and like the wizard behind the curtain. Like,
please.
I was we were like, oh, we're gonna have this like cool guest group for Friday.
Yeah.
Like, who should we pick? And then we put a list, and we were like, oh, we should include Steve.
Oh no, yeah. The second that Steve got included, the dynamic changed heavily, for sure. That's why we're here. Yeah.
Wow.
The second
Nice,
Steve
he's
got
all-
picked,
Wow.
because a situation arose behind the scenes that we discussed. Militech is very much currently on Arasaka's shit list, so yeah, it is not great. And again, he was there and was not seen as a liability at that time. It was learned much later that because of Siege's actions, that he is very much a problem in Night City and does not give a fuck. So again, behind the scenes on my end, the reason why Steve is a problem in this session is because of other people's fuck ups, okay? It's not his fault.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Since I'm not in the last 2 episodes of this, can I just use all my luck on this persuasion roll?
Yeah.
This ball. Let's go. Plus.
Fucking do it. So it's going to be a 15 DV to get it.
All right, +6.
All right.
Yeah.
28.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, you
so
didn't
we're
even
going to
need it.
discuss what that is for the last beat, though. It's going to be interesting. You're trying to secure Severo with your team. Is that fair?
Yeah, I'm essentially just trying to come in, like, flop it on the table and say, "Give me my guy. This is only going one way."
Yeah. It's not going to quite go like that because they will be leaving by the time you're kind of pulling around. So we'll get to that in a second. But I want to confirm with Bunny Doll, you and Thorn and Rem reconnect. Cersei, Amelia, you were just there. And once you were no longer a threat, they did not kill you or anything. They just left you standing there with your hands up, had their conversation with Alex, and left. Once they're done there, do you stay with Alex or do you two just like, this went fucking way south, let's get the fuck out of here? Like, we do not belong in this shit. Amelia's like kind of like completely battle shocked and does not seem to have a decision either way. So you're kind of the deciding factor.
I know, but like neither does Alex, does she? Like
Alex collapses after
yeah, I
the
was
comment.
about to say
Like she was like, trying to like keep it cool and be
We're lucky
like,
it's a short rest again.
you know what, Tom?
Oh.
You have
Alex was
inspiration for
like,
D&D, but not for this.
God damn it. So, yeah, I think Kat, I think Cersei, you're on the your intuition is spot on. Like Alex is like kind of squatting in the fucking destruction and kind of like it's like her face is like covered in the dust of destruction, and then like there's like these perfect like rivulets cutting through it of tear, like that's where she's at.
Yeah, they just
Okay.
shut her off like in the middle of the fight. Like,
yeah.
again,
So
for an
but,
edge
like,
runner, the worst experience.
her people left her.
Yeah.
Like the people that she came in with left her, and it's just the three of us. So like I want to say, hey, like, we need to get out of here, and I'm gonna usher them both
Yeah.
out.
When you get outside, you're able to get in a call. Vix will bring around like a van and just kind of drive you out. Well, no, she can't. She's in another game. Sorry. One of the mocks that is not Vix will be here with a van and take you. Do you wish to go back to Lizzie's where you know it's safe, or do you want to take Alex home?
Can I drop Amelia off and then
Take Alex back home?
Alex?
Yeah, or you could offer Alex safety at Lizzie's. Again, it's the safest place you know. It is where the mocks roll.
Yeah. I mean, I probably, yeah. I mean, I guess I could offer that. Like, hey, do you want to lay low with us for a little bit? And or do you want us to take you somewhere?
Alex will follow you to Lizzie's.
Okay,
Totally.
cool.
Yeah. So you get into the bar scene. You guys are offered drinks. It looks like Amelia immediately goes straight to like a horse to water. Like she is very much like, I need alcohol inside of my body. And yeah, she's shaking hands at first, and then when she gets on the level, it's like, smiles, and she's back on it. She feels comfortable. Alex, do you partake, or do you kind of just try and vibe?
Yeah. I mean, I want a shot of like overproofed liquor at this point.
They
Like
got you.
some. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, they've got you. Like
traumatized.
Everclear shit. So yeah, after a fashion, you kind of like settle in, and like the mood definitely shifts, but the reflection on the experience is definitely not great. Arasaka definitely does drop its hand heavy sometimes, and that does appear to be one of the cases, especially when dealing with Militech. And then Bunny Doll, Rem, Thorn, you reconvene. You have Victra. She is no longer unconscious, and she will reach out to Ares right about when you're starting your pursuit. Um, and what are you three doing?
I think we were going to a bar. Right?
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we got cut off early.
for sure.
We were vibing, and then Arasaka ruined the vibe.
Totally fucking did. The nearest bar is a place called Jacked and Coke. It's right near Militech Building. It might be too kind of lame for you clothes wise. If you're going for a little bit more rustic, you've got El Coyote Coho down to the south. If you're wanting to kind of like get a little bit more like scene empathy, is just on the other side of Arasaka Tower. And if you want to get the fuck out of Corporate Center, because I mean, why would you want to stay? They're the ones who ruined the vibe. You could go up to Lizzie's in Watson.
Have I
That's
played
where I'm
at
going.
Empathy before?
Huh? Oh, yeah, it's kind of a shit vibe, to be honest. It's kind of a sex
Alright.
parlor.
Oh. Well,
Lizzie's is a sex parlor, but Lizzie's is also a club. Like, it's kind of a bit more of a
I think
vibe.
I think Rem would recommend Lizzie's because she's definitely been there before.
So you'd meet up with
Alright.
Alex and crew and kind of like
Alright.
reconvene to kind of deflate after the fact. Ares, you come back around just as, or a few moments after, the Arasaka AV has lifted off and has started to move towards Arasaka Tower. You are effectively in a position to either cut them off and try and stop them from moving, or immediately attack them in the sky and bring them down. The pilot is waiting for your call, but you basically, with that persuasion roll, have confirmed that whichever way you wish to do it, they're going to do it, no questions asked. Or you can follow them to where they're going.
How frowned upon is like air-to-air combat in the middle of in Night City, like near close to Corporal Plaza? Like, am I gonna get shit like a lot
Heavily
of shit from
frowned
the higher
upon,
ups?
and yes, you're probably going to get shit from the higher ups, unless it's clean and quick and nobody responds to it. It needs to
Okay.
be done immediately and fast, or you are going to get problems.
All right, then cut them off because I don't. This Doji character seems wily. I feel like
Okay. So if you kind of move to cut them off, you kind of position yourself, they'll turn to kind of meet your vector. And then once they've kind of gotten into that position, a hail will be sent to your pilot by their pilot. And the pilot on their side says, "Your place or mine," says my boss. And your pilot kind of looks over at you.
asking, sorry, your place or mine? He said,
Yeah, you would get the jargon,
yeah,
either
mine,
Militech or Arasaka.
Militech.
Okay. So they'll fly over to your tower. The AV receivers will take your AV and will take their AV. And once you get out of your AV, you can see a security detail, not yours, running over to the Arasaka AV, guns trained, and then you see just one person get out of the box. Severo. You then see
Right.
another individual come up behind him and look over at you, since there's no other execs that are on the floor. It is the guy who was in the suit. He raises his hand up to you and says, "As a gift of good grace, we will allow this individual to re-enter into your employ. However, I was promised by another that in doing so, you and I could talk. Not now. I have business. I'm a busy individual. But I could fit you into my schedule, and you'd see him kind of flick his hand across his wrist, and you'd see on your phone that a request to send you details has been sent to your phone.
My office line, right?
Yeah.
My personal, or not my personal one.
He's sending it to your corpo, and it's obviously his corpo shit. He's sending you his contact details for us to coordinate. It's like LinkedIn shit.
An Outlook invite.
Yeah, an Outlook invite. It's like it's a Teams. It's a Teams
Oh my
request.
Not the Teams request.
I'll accept it, and as a response, I'm probably smoking a cigarette. I'll just kind of flick the butt at him, and I'll just say, as I breathe out smoke, "Manners maketh a man, and I see none here but a beast."
He reaches into his pocket, pulls out his data tablet, and holds it up. And you would see that you're kind of positioned in RSO or positioned in Militech Tower, and it shows like the exact ping. And he says, "Do you see that button there? That one? If I were a beast, I would have hit it earlier and knocked your AV out of the sky. I am no beast. But if you do not invite me in, I will find my own way in."
Little pig, little pig.
So
Let me.
he had like an explosive on the AV already, like preemptively?
No. If you looked at it as a Militech person, you understand that he had sat lock on you the whole time, which means he would have railgun shot you from space right out of the air.
Not from home.
If the fight would have started, he would have literally shot you out of the sky from space.
Damn.
Do we have a satellite?
Not over Night City, because
Arasaka does?
Arasaka does.
And they call us the fucking dogs. Okay, dude.
Hey, out of character, you're the ones who nuked our fucking tower back in 2023, okay? You sent a bunch of ragtag edge runners in there and dropped a goddamn nuke in our basement. You shut your fucking mouth.
Militech did that? I thought that was Johnny Silverhand.
Who do you think Johnny Silverhand was working for, dude? It was him, Morgan Blackhand. They were on a Militech AV, shooting Militech guns. Yeah, that was all Militech.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Baby.
Oh, I knew they were based. That's even more.
Yeah, how could a rocker ever go do some shooting for Militech? How would a rocker ever be convinced to?
It's like poetry. It rhymes. So he kind of like puts his tablet away and says, "Enjoy your employee." I prefer weekends. Since you got to choose home court for this engagement, let's say I choose the next location. Francesca's, have you been?
No.
Is that more neutral, or is that like Arasaka leaning?
It is literally right behind Arasaka.
Not my fucking favorite place.
Oh.
I'll move us to the map so you can see.
Fucking rude.
Liz's favorite or
both?
Letty's favorite.
Oh, Letty's favorite. I see.
Like Takara Kabuki, it was a restaurant that was invented by a player. So,
is there but I know a spot maybe that's more like neutral, like Petrochem or like area more Petrochem controlled?
But based on the conversation beats and your understanding of kind of like Arasaka and like their kind of culture, he basically put it to you that he gets to choose because you got to choose here.
Yeah, well, he just ruined my last dinner, okay?
You're pretty sure that...
Now he wants me to invite me into the Dragon's Den.
Okay, so I love that. You say, well, you just ruined my last dinner, so we're not quite on evens yet. So go ahead and roll a persuasion roll for that. I like that. That's a good method.
Fair.
21.
All right. He kind of goes, fair enough. I will allow you to choose once again. But the third time we meet, I'll choose.
I'll be gracious. I will suggest a neutral restaurant that is neither Militech or Arasaka influenced. Like I said, Petrochem, Biotechnica, Kangtao. Well, not Kangtao.
Something over there, yeah.
I killed one of their execs recently.
Something over there on the west side. Like we're talking like something on the coast, right? We're talking like seafood. We're talking something over.
Yeah, where's Table Pacifica where I was trying to go out with
Yeah.
Crooked? Let's go there. That place
That's
rules.
probably over here. That's probably over there by the docks. Yeah, that's fine. We'll go there. And he nods and says, "Set it up with your secretary. I'll set it up with mine. We'll meet." And he'll head over to his AV. And the pilot kind of like, seemed to be on radio chatter with Militech operators. He gives a thumbs up, and then Doji will nod. "A pleasure meeting you." And then the door closes, and his AV is allowed to leave. Unless you call in for them to shoot it down.
You know what? Where's our satellite? Get that shit online.
We don't have a satellite over Night City. All
Have
right.
any some ground air missiles
Oh
in one
yeah,
of the
you have
vents?
SAM sites on the building. You could have shot him down right then.
We won't ball that.
You know what? Save it for next episode.
Yeah. So in series 3, we will definitely be exploring the meeting. Thanks for watching those that did. We're gonna go ahead and end it there, as everybody besides Aries gets drunk as fuck at Lizzie's. All award experience offsite. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you for the last 2 episodes of series 2. Keep an eye out for that. Bye.